Got a glitch. Wait there. Let me check. Hello, good evening, one and all. Friday, 4th of Jan, 2019, allegedly. So they say. Some might say. Good evening, fam, subscribers, and my man Andy. Hello. What?
Good evening, brother. Good evening, fam. Good evening, subscribers. Peace and love, one and all.
We have John, Alan, Shadow, Rose Tinted, me, thee, and a singer, and Jerry. Michael. Here we go. All saying hello. Yes, good evening, all. Can you see Andy?
Yes, I'm in the chat room now. Good
You
evening,
having a,
all.
you having a dance?
Yes, my baby's iPad and an advert jumped in there. Just had to quickly jump on the old mute button there. I'm not familiar with these handheld devices, but there you go.
So that wasn't your ringtone.
That's not a ringtone, brother, because my phone. I'm using my phone to cast the
Yeah.
broadcast with you, and I'm having to use my baby's device to read in the chat room. So, as we all know, I haven't got a computer. Never had one. I don't know how you work them. I don't advocate them.
You've got a left and a right lobes. You've got an organic computer. We're all equipped with. I'm not having a go at you here. This is just me just chatting now. Side splinter. We're all equipped with the most kick-ass computer.
Mm-hmm.
Computer, not computer.
Computer
Yeah,
of the author,
get
creator.
that. Yeah, let's get that pineal gland decalcified and a little bit of maybe harness DMT, some kind of whatever meditation, transcendental, a little bit of whatever you need to just get you in the zone. And amazing what can be conjured up, manifested.
Shadow Dynamics is asking Andy, what's the name of your YouTube channel, brother? It's Eye of Creator. It's I, the letter I, of OV Creator. Of Creator is one word. Eye of Creator.
Yeah, you have to put I and then of creator. But if you click on somewhere on the screen,
If
if
you
I'm
if you look at the top of the chat, Dave's already tagged me into it. It says Eye of Creator up there. So go and have a look on that. Click on it, and you'll take you straight in. Lovely.
no, I haven't. It does. I don't. Ah, I'm not sure. It's got your name, but it doesn't link up. What you have to do is you will have to write a summit in the chat. If you put a message in the chat, then
Yeah.
anybody in the chat wants to see your channel. They hold their finger down if they're using a media device, or if you're on a laptop, you right click, I think, and say view channel. But if you write a message into the chat, then they can access your channel by
Done.
doing
There you
something
go. I've
on
done
that.
it,
Now
mate.
you see, because then that puts your channel linking you into the chat, and then they can get it from there. Easy,
Mm-hmm.
easy.
There you are, brother. Done.
Maybe, baby. All right. So I want to start by saying, Andy has brought something to our attention whereby I'm a bit warped out by the whole what is noticed there on a video. I posted the link. If you scroll up the chat before we started, I put a link into a video, and I'll let Andy take over if you want and tell him what go on. This is weird. Is not because no, I mean it's because it comes from you. I don't want to steal the thunder, but I posted the link ready so they can have a
Yeah, you
look.
crack on. Tell them the story. Yeah,
No, I
just a video.
refuse.
I was what it was. I was actually scrolling through to find some old footage of myself of you first bringing me to the public domain, and
Yeah.
it doesn't go far back as I thought because obviously a lot of it was on Face page. So I was
Yes.
looking back through your channel there on the tube, and I just so happened to see that one on there, and I just clicked on it, and it just my comments are on there. Are your SPL number live? Can I ring you on it? Shall I, ring today? Blah blah. And you got, yeah, please ring. And it just took me back to the time when I initially first met up as brethren. And
Uh,
then as I was watching it and reading the comments, it just like an orb or something, whatever you may wish to describe it as, just flicked across the screen, and it just happened to be at 1 minute and 3 seconds, 1:03. And all these synchronicities to me, it's all there in your face, and go and have a look yourself. It's all there evidentially fact. It is what it is, and it just seemed quite bizarre to me. Another synchronicity in my journey and my path that I'm making for my own life here, and how it's all come about. And look back through his story, and where I've been and where I've come from and how I'm here today and how I've done what I'm doing while I've got here today. And it's just all those resonant memories that I carry and that are dear and cherished by myself, and through my own enlightenment and own education and all these little reminders I have along the way that I'd forgotten about initially. And it's like, Lord, it's so long ago, but it seems only yesterday when you have that reminder. It's just a beautiful thing, ain't it? It's that heart resonance, mate.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that. I was interested in the claims of orbs. I thought orb, let's go. And I thought Andy was saying that it was a video of when me and him were together at a seminar or something on a video or talking together in the beginning. And I went and had a look, and I was just sat in the bedroom with the fairy lights. We're talking about the Jack Fresco was still alive then. It was the 27th of May or about the 20th of May last year, was it not, the video? Or 17? No, 17 it'll have been. And yeah,
16, I
Jack
think it was, mate. Or
17.
17,
I'm sure
yeah, whenever, yeah.
Jack died in May 17, but it was a week after. I did 275 videos roughly, and then my mate Matthew in Sheffield, my brother Matthew in Sheffield, kept saying about Venus Project and resource-based economy, and I said, look, this trust technology, it's based on resource, it's based on the man, it's based on wholesomeness, it's based on direct source technology, which is not legal, which is not ecclesiastical, which is wholesome, and like the Venus Project. So these men and women and brothers and sisters that come to this mission and calling and renaissance of law, even a re-evolution, we could call it, not revolution. We're done with that. We've been there and done it, but we've not done a re-evolution, and we've not done a certain, other things. And this great man, he was 100. He was on a Larry King show in 1976, I think, when he was about 60 something. He used to work in the government departments for safety on planes. He did a lot of engineering. He's got an excellent mind. And Matthew brought him to me some years ago through Babel. And after a bit, I said, Coleman, I went, who is this man? Show me him. Let me see this penis project. And, I was taking the mick out of the Venus project, calling it the penis project. And I'd heard too much of it. And long story short, after 175 or 275 videos, I thought, it's about time I mentioned Jack properly and did a weird thing where I sellotape my phone to the laptop and the screen, and I pressed play on the laptop and put the subtitles on and read some of Jack's words to that video. And where you say those that 103 mark, I went to 30 seconds and rewound it and thought, let's just have a look here. And I saw a few glitches, and then the words that I'm speaking at the minutes, and when that happens, is about children and debt and misery and the way things are. It's quite a harrowing, examination of life as it is in this civilization, as we call it. And
Exactly. And
it's
that's why
real.
I'm chirping on there to call you because I have the answers for man's property and assets and how to secure them and how to get them back if they've been stolen. And it was just all synchronized. It was amazing, wasn't it?
No, that is a big cloud. I don't know, viewers, if you want to skip over and have a look. The links at the top of this chat, and then or in the middle as well, and then have a look at 103 and see what you think. Give us your interpretation. I'd like that video because it's got Jack Fresco in it. A clip to be sent somewhere for analysis and so forth. An independent. I can't slow it down. If any of you want to take the clip, download it, and then use your video slow mo effects and do whatever you do, please. You have the permission to do that. And let us know what you've got when you. Oh, Stanley, dodgy doctors. This is a job for him, if ever there
Mm,
was a job for that man.
mm,
I've
mm.
others as well, but I'm sure he could work some magic, and he'd like to do that. I've just realised dodgy doctors is a video master as well. So yeah, we'll open it up to everybody, and yeah, thank you, Andy. That was very well received. Numbers, we love the numbers, spirits and energies and things or whatever. We love them. And I'm 9,000. We are not I. My ambitious target of 10,000 sovereign members by the end of January is about 9,600 shy, 9,590 shy. We're at 407, 408 for the member count on SPL. So the beacon is on, and I'm on a mission to yeah, get the message out there of what we do, who we are, etc. And little synchronicities like that, will help me use that bit of video and get a boost. And I'm wearing a sovereign green illuminous t-shirt, so that'll raise questions. So yeah, I'd like it sent to other channels and that for analysis, promotions, whatever you do. And if you can tell us what it is, that would help as well because Andy and I, we like to know these things, don't we?
I only stumbled across it this evening. On, I text you with the footage, and you've gone back over it, and it's something that we done 2, 3 years back. It's and we've just stumbled back across it again this very day. And yeah, it's all synchronicity, isn't it? What it is, I'd love to know what's going on because I'm sure there's much happening around us that we're both aware and unaware of.
Ah, yes, that links me on to Star Wars. Ah, well, Star Wars. The ITV2 has just displayed the Star Wars film, or still is. I forget which title. One of the newer ones. Anakin, Darth Vader, all that business. There's angelic singing, of which I've never really took to before. When I say angelic, it's like the demon type angelic with the operatic, and yeah, it's red flames and fires, and he turns reptilian-eyed, or similar to reptilian-eyed Anakin, where he gets chopped up, and it's just like, what the hell are they doing here? This is at 8:30 on a Friday night. This is quite a scary set of scenes here, and it's just like, I mentioned before about the Executive Order 66, that the Jedi Council are executed, and the children, the young Padawans of 6 and so forth. And I'm like, why do they need to put these things in? So you get me. I was like, Star Wars, I do see you in a different light, and I do believe you're quite like depicting hell here, and demons, reptilian eyes, fire, brimstone, and just very, very deep. Things have got way beyond. I thought Freddy was scary, and he was, and all that carry on that we saw, but that wasn't on at 8:30. Everybody, that was from Blockbuster or Ritz in the time. I think the video shop was, and you didn't watch that unless you snuck it up to your bedroom and watched it when you shouldn't have, and it scared the 10 bells out of you at the age of 10 or 12.
Hmm.
Aliens, I think I watched that when I was 14. Aliens 2, Face Huggers. Oh, Jesus. So you get the idea, and that was self-inflicted, but that wasn't brought to you by terrestrial TV on a Friday night for family viewing with like demonic type. I'm all for Star Wars. I loved it as a child. I had the figures, and I was besotted with it. But now, I see myself as Yoda before I was Luke Skywalker. You see, we all have places and images of ourselves and where we fit in. But Hollywood portrayal of what I thought was fiction turns out that it's based on an old story, as I've mentioned before, and it's very deep. These papers, and where he's got this from. And then let me finish with this. um, adverts came on, and there's our friend Philip Schofield, January 4th, WeBuyAnyCar.com. Oh wow, couldn't believe it. If you're not skinned, then you're all right. And lucky you, if you are skinned, you can sell your car. 4th of Jan, 8:30, prime time. Star Wars adverts. They cost a fair bomb. They do. We buy any car. They're after your asset. Sell it. Sell it now. You get me.
It's
Gambling
just
advert.
awful.
Gambling advert came on. I'm like, oh, look at you, like money bags again. Just ridiculous what we see. Go on, Andy. Sorry.
It's just the property grabbing stuff all the time. There's a big push on at the moment, whatever it be, property. They're coming for it. All classes. Don't matter who you think you are or how much or how protected you think you are.
Yeah, the arm is coming to seize. Yes. Ah, what was that word I was discussing earlier as well? Discovered another word that wasn't me discovering it, but I've had a penny drop with the word infant and infantry. Yes. I was researching and using something earlier, and it just happened to fall into place. Infantry,
Hmm.
language, cursive language. Yes. Oh, please. I'm innocent. That's neighbour's dog. All I've done was walk up the back garden. I'm glad I've got that as evidence. It's absolutely horrendous. If it ever gets out, I worry for the family's safety because, wow, I do believe I could even go so far as to say, if you have an animal, a dog that is not an animal, let's get it right, a canine, and you do not walk it, and you often let it out in your back garden for poo, and wee and poo, I speak politely here, and you never walk it, I believe that could be an allegation made there of animal cruelty because the dog will get overweight, will it not? It doesn't get the weekly exercise and so forth. There you go. Bad art, bad chest. Takes it out on me. There you go.
Pent up energy.
Yeah, probably not a vicious dog. It's probably quite lovely when it's worn out.
Yeah. And with it being the breed it is as well, they're working dogs, they're always energetic.
Indeed. You got anything you want to say, Andy? Have you got anything you want to bring up or
I've got
go
loads
over?
I
Or
need to say, mate, but how long have we got? I could go on and on and on and Ariston. Putting all
logic,
the wrongs
logic.
right, the one, brother. I could start with the book and then we'll go on to finances and then we'll go on to the realm and then we'll bring it back to whatever you wish: health, wealth, spirituality, religion, race, colour, gender. Well, where do we start with this? Wi-Fi, 5G, you know, the food, the law in itself, the land that's poisoned, the air that's poisoned, the water that's poisoned. Yeah, where would you wish for me to start?
Pardon me by not burping online. Oh, pardon me. So rude. I had some lemonade.
So
Ah, whites. I'm a
just the
secret
index has
lemonade.
given you a bloody indigestion. We haven't spoken of anything yet. I've only given you topics.
I'm a secret lemonade drinker.
Ah,
White. That
whites.
advertisement. I know, I couldn't believe it, but he's such an old one. I couldn't resist. I'd sung it to G the other night when I did the same. I am a secret lemonade drinker. It is my Achilles heel. Um, thank you, Jerry. And it has been hard work. Wait, I'm replying to the chat room, Andy. I've sidetracked, making it just so. Jerry says, um, thank you. I've been going through the .com stuff and thank you. It's all putting me where I should be. Thanks, fam. Was getting sidetracked with the goings on in this crazy world. So I'm just saying thank you because it's been a year and it's only just been stabilized on and the way things are. It's been a big journey this last year, hasn't it, Andy? To be fair, I feel quite tired at Christmas. I was grateful
Would
of a
you
wee
say an
rest.
undertaking?
Sure. Oh well, yeah, that'd be an afterword really more so, but
Yeah, we've been
yeah.
busy. We've done a lot. We've brought much happiness, much rejoice, much remedy.
Yeah, it's the documentation that we'll be going over with Greg. We're on version 2 for the subscribers, and just as a general news update, if you go to splspro.com and you look at the homepage, you'll see the key competence booklets there, and there's a little promotional JPEG slideshow image. I forget now. I think it's an image that Greg's put on there for you to have a look at with the key competence documents that we've got. And going over them for a second, well, or third time, I did put a disclaimer out saying that when I put these on the .com and released them, that they were edgy and rough, and they were open for errors, omissions, corrections, additions, all this kind of stuff. When we do this, we have to be careful. When you're trying to help folk, all folk want to do is say, even though they've got their own free will, and they're responsible for their own actions and not other, we're not responsible, but it tries to get it put that way that you did something and try to help somebody, and somebody will then say, well, it hasn't gone the way I wanted it, so it must be your fault because I followed what you did. And that's what you get for helping folks. So regardless of us not being in the legal realm, when you put documents out that have got basic conceptualization of what we do and we try and put that in this form, it's open for attack. But luckily I haven't received any crappy emails. I've received some saying thank you, well done, and when they've looked through them all, they'll come back to me, but nobody has such of yet. And I've gone through them again with Greg for errors, omissions, corrections, and like even one point I said to you today, Andy, I put in I put in there that silence is deemed as consent. And when I read it for a second time, I went, no, it isn't. It's not deemed as, you know. And there was certain just stupid things
Hmm.
in there because it had been rushed, and it's a massive amount of stuff. But if you are on the .com, I would like you to give me feedback and email me and let us know, or get in a forum or something, and just try to digest the documentation. I've kept them short, but again, it's not my work. We are the author as a trust. I am the author. Like this one's 20 pages long. The words size is 0.12, and there's a narrow margin on the page. So you've got 8,000 something 400 words in a document across 20 pages. It's not that big, but they are laid out, quite well. And I'm very proud of everybody that's been a part of everything, like you, Andy, the subscribers, the viewers, everything we did on Facebook. It hasn't been an empty venture. We have got a silver lining to a lot of the work that we put in there and what we did, and we got out just at the right time, if not a little bit too late, but we're out. We've done it. We've got 28 watching now. We've only advertised in the .com, so it'll build up.
Yeah, I was out of it a long time ago, mate, but due to popular demand and frequent requests, so I was, to come back on
Oh, look at it
briefly.
now.
So
Oh, popularity, man. The People's
it's
Prince.
true. It's
Yeah,
true.
where art thou?
I can't
Yeah,
help it. And much like your people asking this, people asking that, can you come and sit, tell them, can you? I'm like, oh Lord, it's quite a beautiful thing that I'm thought of in that way. So I didn't realise I'd quite so many people love me the way they do. It's a beautiful, amazing thing. Thank you, everybody.
yeah, you're welcome, brother. Thank you. Thank you, my man.
Can I just plug Eye of Creator? What a top channel it is. Get yourself subscribed, everybody.
Get over there. Yeah, that's it. What you do, let me go to you click on it, is it then? I don't think you can. You click on the icon. No, it was on the handset. I was doing that. So, yeah, there
So
was
I've changed the picture yesterday or the day before because when you says to me, "I look for this," oh, just a black circle. You can't see now. So I've changed it now. It's got a little saying and that in there, so it's more easier to spot. So if you do put a link up, you can see my little picture there. Shadow Dynamics. I've sub, bro. Okay, mate. Thank you.
we've
It was
got
worth.
Ben.
It was worth the sausage and chips I got you in Liverpool, then, brother. No problem.
I was going to say hello to a few of the new ones that dropped in. That just started
Absolutely.
viewing. Ben,
Welcome. Share the love. Ben in
yeah,
the field, that's Sister Nita. She's put it further up the top. Welcome, sister. I've taken
yes,
your number. I've got it in my phone. I shall text you tomorrow when I get time. So you've got my number if you need me for anything. If you wish, that's no problem. Thank you.
hello to Gary, who's recently joined. I've said to Jerry and John. MG, everybody knows that one. Shadow, yes. Alex, hello from California. Cali. Oh, wow.
In the meantime, I'm going out to Calais. I
Yeah,
believe that's where I first met him. Come on, let's put our coins together and drink a bottle to St. Louis Slim. That's a bit of C6 Steve there when he sings of going down to Calais. And he is a hobo, isn't he, on the works of freight trains and works on the lands and
I
stuff
weren't
like
born
that.
then. I don't know. I'm too young. I'm
Honest to goodness, not to look at. When you finish with that walnut, you can give it back.
Listen, I was going to say something. Look, Cali, he's in California then. I've been researching Cali, the dance of Cali. You can look at Beyonce, Dance of Cali on Dumbo. There's a skeleton, Dumbo, the animated thing from when we was a knee eye to a grasshopper. Yes, that one. When elephants will fly. I did watch that film a lot, animation even. There's a skeleton that dances in there, and it does the dance of Cali. But Michael Jackson is actually the one who's doing the dance, and they use the cinematography at the time to map Michael Jackson with the stickers on his elbows and knees and whatnot, and then he dances, and they animate the skeleton to Michael Jackson's dance of Kali, and Kali is an Indian goddess even, and of a certain disposition and ways. I won't go into it all now, but California, Californication, and Kali, the word itself, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Kalima. He clearly says it in there where he gets that man in that cage above the fire and he's going to lower him down into the fire and he's saying, no, no, no. Remember, have you seen it? You must have several times, eh? I know Tube has Temple of Doom, and he's going Kali. He gets his heart. In fact, the man who before he puts him in the cage, he says Kalima Shuk Decay. Kalima. It shit me up as a kid. Another film that I shouldn't have watched. I was like, whoa, there was no need for that. Who made Temple of Doom? Indiana Jones. Which film producer was it? What messages are they trying to tell you? Or is it not messages, but truthful historical depictions put into a film? Sounds a bit like what? Star Wars claim that I made earlier that I've since found out about. But yeah, the Terror Papers, Star Wars. It was the Terror Papers that I was researching and found that out. But Kalimar, Kali, there's a big issue here because these wait for it, it's archive churning. These devil demons of Babylon are still here today apparently, and I'm like, no, they're not. And then when I've researched it, I found Kali and Kali and other such names that I won't go into now from such times as Babylon. And I was like, this is needing more research. So all that from Alex in California weren't bad, was it? I yield.
Mm. Exit from Babylon.
Deep. Everything's deep. I'm sorry.
Exodus. Movement of your people. Yes, it's been going on for a long time, mate. It's just that maybe the answers haven't been there. They know that it's there, but the answer has been hidden very well in the misconstrued ruling and force of law that's going on here. But luckily, we've been able to lift the veil on this and have a look behind the curtain.
Lift the veil.
Hello. Let's
Hey,
see the smile behind the veil. Let's see the hand behind the cloth. Let's see how many fingers you've got. Let's see how many you're pointing at us. That's
I've got
right.
something to show you. I got something to show you. Ras. Right. This name, RAS, right, space TAFARI, space MAKONNEN. So that name reads, there's three there, what I've just read. No, there's more. There's a fourth name, WOLDEMIKAEL. And then a fifth name, there's actually six in total. Fifth name, HAILE. And then the sixth name, this can't be right, but it is SELASSIE space I. And it reads Ras Tafari Makonnen Wandel Mikhail Haile Selassie I. And I'm looking at allegedly what I've been sent, and I'm going to put this up on the .com for examination and debate why this alleged rare photo of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip bowing before the real original African royalty, Empress Menen Asfor, and her husband, Emperor Rastafari Mac Onen Walden Waldem Ikael Haile Selassie I. And if I turn my camera on, just because I love you all so much, I'll give you a sneak preview of a rough. Oh, you won't. You can't see the reflection.
It's gone off, Dave.
Timing, eh? Wait there. I'll just show you so you get a rough idea, and this will be going on the .com. But this is what I love about the Famaland, the stuff that we get sent and to discuss about. What? That's what I've just read you. What? Hello. Yes, I'll bow for you. And then the name. Oh, it's all probably backwards, isn't it? No focus. Yeah, well, you'll get to see that and what it's about. I sent it to say, Dave, do you think that's real? And I need to know more, and I'm getting more information. But and that leads me on to the Moors that I'm investigating, and the Rastafari.
The Moorish.
Yeah,
the Moors are on Dartmoor, I do believe. We're looking at the Moorish, mate.
yeah, that is correct, Andrew. Yes, thank you for that.
Oh, Andrew, thank you, David. It's fucking spiffing, darling.
You
You
know it.
big girl's blast.
You call me one more time. I tell you, in but yes, Rastafari, the non-biblical connection with their, way of life, existence, belief systems.
Yeah, man.
Haile Selassie I is interesting, and Jamaica, Africa. Michael Tellinger, look what Michael Tellinger's brought us. I can't say enough about him. He's just such a lovely man. Love to give him a big, massive, hug and say thank you, brother. There's not many YouTube videos I can watch that are 4 hours long on at the end of the day and that stay awake to, without falling asleep. With him, I'm so tired the next day. I'm like, normally I fall asleep to YouTube videos and I'm like, because the law, and you listen to them when you're sleeping, and it kind of sinks in. And when you watch it the next day, and after about 4 times and writing it down and doing what we do, it gets in there. But we're telling her, I'm like, I've got to go to bed. I've got to turn him off. No, I'll watch it. I'll just do another hour. And then, like, you're 3 hours into a 4 hour one, and you're like, okay, it's only another hour. 3:30, 4 o'clock. You're up at 7. What? Time is short.
Yeah, that is complete mismanagement of your time. I'm afraid you must get your house tighter in order because
Oh,
you
wow.
you can't go on like this, young man. You
Young
know,
man. I'm
no
40, but
no
thank you.
no
Young
wonder you're
man.
looking the age that you do.
Yeah. Listen to you wheezing. Look at you, chicken yourself.
Mate, I've got
Muttley.
mate,
Start chicken.
I've got that condition in the lung, me old pal. I've got COPD, haven't I?
Catch the pigeon.
But
Sorry.
I've cut doing on the smoking and that, and I'm taking other medicines now. So I'm going to leave this
Good.
tobacco right out this week, mate. It's going to be my thing now, and now that I've got myself an alternative in life, so yes,
That's it.
thank goodness for that. I'm going to buy myself a nebulizer and get the old oregano oil on the go with some of the Sovereign House silver colloidal water.
Oh, yeah. I guess that 300 ml, didn't I? I still got some.
Hmm.
You still got some of the amber nectar. That sounds a good idea. We all need to
In
think about
fact,
the toxins
I'm
into our
telling you,
body.
pork pies, mate. I've left that elsewhere. It's gone. I've also given my book away. That's elsewhere and gone. It's at the same residence. So I'm going to have to replenish my stocks. So I
Yeah.
can't reference my book at the moment, and I haven't got any silver
I bet you could.
water.
You've referenced it a lot without having it in
Oh,
your.
brother, it's all in my mind. But it's just the exact numbers that come with the verses and stuff like that. I
Chapter.
probably,
I know.
I may get wrong the chapter and verse, but as for
Yeah.
what it's actually saying, and I can pull the sayings out of the bag, no problem. But I wouldn't be able to tell you where they are from the top of my head. I'm afraid, not all of them anyway. Majority I may do, but in my humble ways, it's in the moment. It flows out in the moment, as you well know.
Yeah, with me, I can't. I have trouble keeping it in. It keeps too much coming. I've got too much to say. Poor Anne Marie. I'm like, Anne Marie, I'm doing a video tonight. It's Friday. I'll get it out of the way. I'll do it tonight early for 10 o'clock. She's crashed out, bless her. And yeah, she hardly sees me, but um,
Ain't she
she knows
lucky?
I'm doing good. Oh, Hungary's out. Hungary is out on the streets. It's -5. Here, I'll do something, pay her back and help her, help our family, but her countrymen, because it's native lands. And they're out -5. Yeah, check this shit out. And she showed me a video on the book of fakeness, and they're out in Page, the city. They're out in the city near her local village where her and her family, live and reside and so forth, residents of, and they're out in -5, storming about with the banners and flags, going, "We're not happy. This ain't right. We're not slaves." And I'm like, Anne Marie, they're going to send the army out, love. They're gonna hurt these people, these brothers
They're
and sisters.
inciting martial law. That's exactly what they
Damage,
want.
they'll get classed as criminals when they're going to make money from, and their house wins again. I said, please let me go over to Hungary and find me somewhere to speak. I said, even let me I may be able to drag a few brothers with me. I wasn't volunteering anybody, but I was like, we need to go and tell them about the certificates, the language, the courts. It doesn't matter what the President Victor has done with the courts. You move through it. There's always a way, and there's human rights and shit. They've got to call. Man, we said it earlier, Andrew. Andy, I can't believe I'll stop it.
What's the matter with you recently, darling?
I can't. I'm not trying to wind you up. It was an accident. Um, we said it earlier about the law and it not needing to have so much notarized, authenticated, docketed, pamphlets and wallets and packs and all that, and that law is spoken and auricular and can be, if you think about it, can be. It says it in document number 2 as well. Um, Proven in the moment, like i.e., in a court, in a court case scenario, a higher court, you could argue that you could write an affidavit statement of truth out if you could ask for a blank piece of paper and the judge, banker, rogue,
Absolutely clarify it there and then.
watched man write that out and put some thumbprints there and an autograph and then submitted it and went or filed it, whichever way you look at it, and goes, here, that's for me then. That's my fact, my statement, my law, my truth. Unrebut that, or let's move on, and that would do. So that's man in the moment with nothing there, sorting it out.
It comes back to three words for me. This whole thing, mate. Whether it be protesting or anything, just life in general. It's simply this: implementation of instrumentation, and that's it. Because we have it all at hand, we just got to know what to do with it. We've got to know how to implement it, when and how, using
Mm.
which verbiage and given which jurisdiction of the law. They've made it all complicated, but it's really quite easy. Let's be honest.
Yep,
So
they have made it complicated. Oh yes. And then they put these things in like Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter. What the hell? What? Oh, please. It's like, wow, Valentine's and Easter's already afoot on the 4th of January. I felt like just having a little cry. But this, it's not necessary. But, inside I was like, wow, we're so, we are seeing it. There is a machine is clearly
the
visible and the
consumer,
sales.
they're,
Yeah.
they're, they're generating consumers, mate, through every
Yeah.
realm of media and everything, mate. It's all they want: earn, spend, earn, spend,
They
earn,
don't give you
spend.
a break,
Absolute
though.
robot.
I mean, I'll tell you I can say this because I did actually see it in there. I went in for some shoe covers on the 3rd of January after work to a local store. I'm not advertising it. I want to shame it, to be fair. Called, let me get it right. Let me get it right. It's definitely called. It's opposite that shop that I go to all the time, which is there. So it's called The Rain, everyone. My local, the local East Midlands branch of this range here. I walked in and I stopped. I looked, went, what? What? And I went, I do not Adam and Eve, my mince pies. We ain't even got Christmas over. I've come in for shoe covers and you've got Valentine's there, hearts and chocolates. And I thought, surely Easter's before Valentine's. And I went, no, dickhead, it's February 14th. Don't forget it. She'll be angry. The Queen. I went, oh, the Queen. I'm not buying it yet. It's too early. Out of principle, I'd rather risk forgetting it and messing up than having to buy that now. That's my stubborn principle, yeah. But
Absolutely. There's always a garage open, mate. Come on.
oh, she's worth more than a garage present. Good lord.
Are you mad? You've seen the prices of these garage presents, mate. Leave the tag on. That's what I say, mate. It means more.
Mm.
It's only a joke. All right, come on.
Mm.
You're such a wrong one.
Your garage joke. I'm a garage DJ.
There we go, mate. Here we go.
You see, chat room. I'm disconnected.
Yeah, I see a couple in there. Dictionary word for cannabis, canvas, hemp.
John,
Lovely.
that's from John.
Yeah, it's always John.
Get in.
What's your thoughts on GMAF, fam? Unbelievable. Um, I'm not without right. David Icke video gov. Invested in AI drones to be employed as surveillance executive on AI judgment and employers making mandatory for employee to take the chip as well as instant smart meters still. Yeah, the chip's been made mandatory across many realms. It's not for me though, thank you. Babylon's burning. We wish.
Bloodfire.
Don't, because I've got all my CDs in ready, mate, and we could have a right old tune now, but it'd only throw us off bloody copywriting, so I won't bother.
Down on the street, they call it Babylon. Yeah, copyright can only be made, claims can only be, these claims that they make will be made against a legal person. As long as you know it's against a legal person, and you manage it well, like I've done with my copyright claims. I'm like, okay, well, let's have a look then. No, I haven't gone to, there's no court needed. They just tell you off and say, if you carry on doing this, you're being a very naughty boy. We are watching you. It's like, carry on. What's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen? I have to drink a can of Slurm.
Yeah, man.
And, this is it. This is what I wanted to say to the family. Um, man's like sometimes they're asking me, what is it about the law outside the law that doesn't make you an outlaw if you're not in the law? And I said, that's a very confusing question. Could you explain it to me again? And I get asked it similar questions like how to like that question the other day, how to be sovereign and so
Right.
forth, or
I'll,
lawful.
I'll
Yeah.
stop you in your tracks for that one straight away. I'll say to you, are you talking in law or are you talking at law? There's a difference.
Hmm. And
Are you
what,
in
go
law
on,
or are
define
you
the
at law?
difference. Yeah, define the difference then
That's
for others
right.
to be more clear. Yes.
One's legal, one's lawful.
Mm-hmm.
Go look, it'll give you something to do. Can't give it all away. I have me Elvis moments on.
Yeah, so that's it. Law is not required. So in this document number two, it says somewhere in there that there is no need to go running to the Roman system at all. And if you want to be out of the Roman system, then you can be out of the Roman system. But then you have to know, what the consenting part is. And, the fact is that you don't have to, these legal sides are just that legal and they're not for man, are they? So man gets mixed up in them by mistake, to be fair, and it is not mandatory and it is not obligatory because only crimes are. And we're not promoting that man doesn't pay their dues or debts for crimes, because as we've just said at the Passover and the solstice and the Xmas just gone, that the Lord he's us, or Jesus he's us. Did you say, Andy, earlier? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He died for our sins or our debts. Well, there you go. That's what we've cross-examined and had a look at, and we're correcting now. So that's
Just us.
that was it. Yeah, not he's us, just us. Yeah, there we go.
Just
Thank
us.
you.
In my book,
Which
it's
is
called
similar.
Just Us, mate. You
Yeah.
Read Matthew in the King James, mate, and it will speak of justice. So,
From just ice, justice dying on the cross. Yes. I like it.
how can you not? What is.
So to remain in law is to be out of the legal realm totally, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
law is. Law is not what they've done is they've called legal law. The Law Society really is mainly legal. The only thing a
Mm-hmm.
barrister will do for you, really, for a service
They
is
skin
like,
you.
well, yeah, that's you take yeah, your prosecution, going in pro se, going into
You
court
know the
pro
one.
se, yeah, pro se. I'll
Represent your bond. Present
yeah.
themselves with a nice new present in the moment. Lovely. It's Christmas every day for the buggers.
But going in probate, when you're going into the realm, you're going in with your estate in probate because you don't have a testament, last testament, will and testament, free will. So if you don't have a will and management, and it goes in probate, and that's how they're handling these things, which is like the deeper side of the judicial realm, of which these documents and the key competence brings you up to. So um, it's very simple once you start to, if we structure this correctly and we tier the educational learning, and this all is for free, by the way. It's given away on a YouTube video as well. So if you're saying, oh well, I'm not on .com and I can't get access to the files, it's not fair. Well, it is fair because you can watch that video and listen and digest it and make notes. So clean hands is always a priority, equality for all, but the level of access is different because we've had to manage that. Our time and effort goes to the places of which we can focus on something and produce a positive, rather than focusing in Facebook and producing nothing but lost time and a little bit of sometimes a little bit of a curse word, or a lot of good did come out of it. I can't but say that it was all horrible, but yeah, we utilize what finite time we have in this realm, and those around us that are willing to participate and help and join in and contribute to join the family is what it is, the extended family. And what we have here and what we've had in the past is only going to grow and get stronger and more frequent. I am seeing in my mind.
Yes, baby. And just hope and faith and goodwill. That's all we got, mate. And each other. And the path forward.
Yeah, there's been a few activities. A lot of you are contacting us, and we've been contacted. We've had a lot of three, like myself, Andy, and then one of you. quite a lot. We're getting a lot of at the judicial realm now that are going there because they've no option to. There isn't a decision they make light-heartedly. They've had to go down to discharge something or to argue something of value and importance. So yeah, we're doing all right on that front. They're not getting beaten totally, but they're not all winning straight away. But it's getting somewhere, isn't it? We're getting some kind of interaction in the right way with no contract and no no forward motion and other things being called for, or it's getting stronger and better.
Yeah, man. It's just how they do it at the time as well, isn't it? It's no good as giving all the answers. It's how they perform at the time. It's how they react and respond to any given notion of the court or whatever you.
No, but like like that gentleman we spoke to about the magistrates and that lady up north we spoke to about whatever, they both came with pre-formatted letters and notices even of what they would already, and they were already 70% of the way there, and they just wanted the 30% of the way, push or confirmation and stuff, which is what makes life beautiful when you're already, someone comes to you, men, brothers, sisters come to us and say, "We've got this. What do you think?" Because
Mhm.
then that's like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah." Whereas before it was, "We need help. What have you got? Can you give it me? Can you write it out?
Give
How
me
do I
all
use
the
it?"
answers. Yeah.
Yeah, and now that you see that, I'll rephrase it a bit.
Yeah.
They're already and the results that they're getting aren't always a straight fine, forfeiture fee, repossession. Things like
Yeah.
that. Now we're getting resistance. We're getting the
Got
testimonials
a little
coming
tune
through.
for us. So just we'll play the quick chorus.
Try to see it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go
All
on?
right, who's this
Why to
then?
see it your way?
Beatles.
But the risk of knowing
Try
your
to see it
mind
our way.
will soon be
We
gone.
can work it
We
out.
can
Yeah,
work it out. We
yes.
can work it out.
Enslaving the masses with their
We've got to
loot.
keep on talking till I can't go on. I don't think so, mate.
Yeah, we got to work it out. Right, what did you do, boys? What did you do after you made all that money? Where did you go? What happened? It didn't work. Nothing out. It's like I don't know. The things that there was a thing on about
In
melon.
the
Oh shit, sorry,
time when
mate.
I was
Sorry.
born,
Go on, carry on.
lived a
I ain't
man
bothered about the money side of it.
Mm. There was a thing about Mel and Kim and Pete Waterman. Remember Hitman and Her? What they used to put on. Do you ever see that? Like a dance show that was on about 2 o'clock in the morning. Michaela Strack and Pete Waterman. And Mel and Kim doing well, listening to what the money was, and it was called fucking Love Money, FLM. And Pete Waterman used to be in the office in the recording studios, and his saying what he used to say all the time was fucking love money. You can, things and that. And this is right out of Pete's mouth on the show tonight, whatever it was on. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And they said, well, Mel and Kim in the 80s, they made a video tune and it was about mobile phones and money and yuppies and things and, basically programming us all. And it was like involving Pete there as well. And Pete was saying what they were doing and how well the girls were doing. He obviously weren't on about programming. It was just that it was him that was involved with Mel and Kim. PWL was the label, I think. Pete Waterman Limited, Pete Waterman label, something like 1990s and 80s and that. But Mel and Kim, and she was out there out on tours and they were singing about FLM, but they didn't call it fucking love money. They called it fun, love, and money. And they've got Mel and Kim up there on top of the pops singing this. But because the grandiose, system know that it's called fucking love money, but they've changed it to FLM. It's like with the dance of Carly and stuff. They changed the name, but they keep the thing the same. And just because you don't know what you're doing doesn't mean that you're not in it. Just because you've signed there and you don't know what you're signing doesn't mean to say you're not in it. You see, this is how they run their things, and they deceive all the way, and they trick you into their realms and they trick you away from your true God, from your true essence, and from your true self with things like fucking love money, mobile phones, technology, computer games. I'm guilty of it too, to a certain
Material
extent.
possession.
Jesus, yeah. And then you look back on it, and I was like, there was no way that Rick Mail advertised the fucking Game Boy. I shit you not. I was, 11 years old then, and I remember them adverts, and I wanted a Game Boy. And if Rick Mail from the young ones and bottom was advertising the Game Boy, I don't think I'd have wanted one. And I went back on the search. Did Rick Mail advertise the Game Boy? He fucking did, yes. did advertise the Game Boy. I was taken aback, aghast. I was like, wow, okay then. My memory's clearly cloudy, but I was occupied by these gadgets too, yes, and programmed as such. But she fell down, bless her. Let me think, Kim. She had cancer and she fell down, and they had, she was never going to get better, and that was the end of them two. But R.I.P. to the sister, that could have been ultimately saved by a plant that was banned. Shh. Wow. See, again, insanity, but the programming and, just seeing Pete Waterman sat there, and I thought, you've done some bad, you have, lad. I can just tell. I pick up vibes, me. When I see a portly fellow that's been involved in the music industry for a long time, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, well, we all know the answer there.
Well, I can't believe all I read, Andy. That's why I'm skeptical. I'm careful. I choose my words carefully.
Shadow Dynamics is saying there's always a remedy. Quite true, that, brother. For those that make claim have to provide the remedy. So if anyone's making claim against you, of course there's a remedy. They have to provide it. That's what I say.
The crown's got the poison, and the sovereigns have got the remedy. Indeed, the remedy is 113 113 113 113
What a petty.
It's knowing thyself, knowing yourself, knowing how to read what's come in front of you, what it entails, how to respond and not react. Would you say, Andy?
Yes, mate, it's very difficult, let me tell you.
A lot of folk angry out there.
Focus and awareness, mate, and give yourself time. Give others around you the time. Very difficult when you're heated up in the situation in the moment, caught up in the moment emotionally. It overruns your passion instantly. I've suffered it myself, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's
something
it's
we all need
hard.
to work on, absolutely.
Money pressures, yes. Brexit pressures, financial
Talking about
pressures,
Brexit, I don't
pressures.
keep advocating Brexit. What a word that is. It's another made-up legalese word.
It's
Load of
not actually. It's
bullshit.
from Barnsley. It's when a chubby fellow or lady sits on a deck chair and it
And
snaps.
Brexit, I know what you're saying. It breaks it into pieces.
Brexit. Brexit. That's easy. It's a proper Barnsley word. That is from Jump. Anybody in Barnsley from Jump? Big up yourself. Shabba.
Mind you, know.
I did live in Barnsley for a bit and worked at a factory plant called ASOS. Oh, it was horrid. The dark place. Been in the news a bit, I see, since I left.
Couldn't you tell me, lad?
Workplaces that
Very
set
old
on
friend
fire.
came by today. What? I love this tune, mate.
You're stuck in past, you are, brother.
I love
Stuck in
Elvis, mate.
past.
How can you not love Elvis? What's the matter with you?
I don't know. Anybody that dies eating
He
corn
talked and
pop.
talked
Ugh.
and heard him say, what's the matter with you? I'm listening to you, aren't I? Prettiest green eyes anywhere.
What are you trying
What?
to do? This isn't fucking Who Wants to Be a Celebrity X Factor. Dance
It's
class.
Friday night, babe. I'm enjoying myself. It's a loose chat hang out. I'm having a nice time. You're
Like
having a nice time.
yourself.
Fam's having a nice time.
You're using
So
this channel to try and showcase your Elvis like tribute skills here.
get
I see
yourselves
what's
over to Eye of Creator, and we'll have a nice time over there. If I'm not allowed to reside
yeah.
here and have a jolly nice time within myself, I'm going to have to shift realms, I'm afraid, brother.
Emotional manipulation. Is that what you resort to? I see
No, no,
straight.
no, just truth.
No, no. It was the truth.
If you're not chucking a party, I will. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, man. Carry on. Carry
Though I
on.
smiled, the tears inside are burning. See, it's just all relevant music, mate. It's just really ace, mate. You can tap your foot to it at the same time. What's the matter with you? Light in your mood.
The Sith Lords will be angry. The Sith Empire. The Sith will get us. Oh,
Oh, bring them on.
you
I've got my
sinner.
address, I've got my location, my phone's all GPSed up and whatnot. They know where I am. Come and check the door.
So I don't know. I've never listened to Elvis. It's one thing, except when I watch Lilo and Stitch with my Fruits of the Loin there. I did enjoy Experiment 626 and the interjection of random Elvis songs on a Hawaiian island where this blue bloody Stitch happened to be. You think I enjoyed that film? I remembered
Mate, you
quite.
got no soul, you got no heart. What's the matter with
I
you? Elvis is the man, mate.
before you cut me down, Brett. Elvis interlude that the animation film provided, but I never considered myself an avid Elvis fan. I have done a couple of samples of James Brown though to back myself up now with some funky,
Yeah, man.
get up, and I have put some
It's a
samples,
man's world, but it's nothing without a woman or a girl, mate.
kung fu samples and stuff. I have gone a bit funky with like Cold Cut. If any of the older musical um, I don't know what you call them, eclectic, ones out there. If I've ever heard of Cold Cut, Ninja Tunes, and
I
things
like
like that.
Coldplay.
No, these were there were samplers, and they're like they used to play broken beats and before like trip hop and stuff, and they'd put samples of films in, and like Bruce Lee would suddenly come up, and you'd hear like, "What? Don't concentrate on the finger, or you will lose all focus." And then the music would build up, and they'd hear like like old Bugsy Malone type, and what were them gangster films, and they'd be like, "Hey, you want some of this? See, and you gotta take it to the bank." And
Say hello to my little friend,
yeah, and I got some ideas from them, like Cold Cut.
little
But they were
cockroach.
brilliant, just out there, different.
Yeah, man. Elvis is coming back. I've seen him on YouTube recently, and
It's
what's
coming
that
back.
dancing that you,
Oh, what?
Lucy? What's that dancing that you do with you? Yeah, that he's doing.
Subscribers, I apologise,
That
Andrew.
they're
Andy's
remixing for the kids of today to enable them to do the shuffle. Actually, so just woo yourself, DJ of the moment.
I am in woo mode as I stand before the tree of woe, contemplate.
What it all is, mate.
Woe is me.
It's the man of woe that always stops us in our tracks, mate.
Woe man. Yes,
Exactly. I've been
I'm already
stopped in my
there.
tracks recently.
Well, oh yeah, touche, touche, turtle.
Absolutely.
Oh, deep sigh. I heard that.
I know, mate. Well, now that we are no longer, it is what it is. We've had a beautiful time with her. She's a beautiful individual, and it is what it is. And time to move on, mate. My heart aches and sore and painful. It is what it is.
Come on to this channel, chirping here and crying. We'll have none
What
of
it
that.
is, what it is.
Sharp. Man up, fool. Man up.
Smiling outside, mate. Crying inside. Brave face. I always have broad shoulders.
Yeah, that's it. Life has journeys. Life has adventures. Life has experiences. We all know everything happens for a reason. Nothing really happens for coincidence, and there are messages everywhere. Your actions, no matter what you may think, not you, Andy, but all our actions speak louder than our words. So no matter what you say, to one another, each other, here's something really, really beautiful that I'd like to share with you all. Today, I had the job from hell. When I say that, I got up an hour late because I was cocky. I'm a bit cocksure like that sometimes, and thought, I'll do this. I'll do this house in a cool 5 hours. It'll all be fine. I've had no problem in the last 4 months with big jobs. I've blitzed them a good 2 hours earlier than I should have. So I'm like, all right, I'll calm down a bit. I'll just go in an hour late. So I've got another hour's play. And you know what happened, Andy, because I spoke to you, but I finished a bit later than I should have. But whilst I was going round, I literally did every room in the house needed treatment. So whilst I was going round preparing all the surfaces and drying them off and doing what I do, I went into bedroom number 3, and there was a sign on the wall, a notice from one of the. I have to be careful here with privacy, security, and data, but one of the tenants' offspring had put a sign up in the bedroom, and it said "rules of the bedroom," and it had such cute little incentives, like be good, respect and listen to mum and dad, listen to others, and make sure you help others more than you help you. And I was like, what? Look at these rules. There's 7 of them, and they was all just beautiful. And it was like, make sure the bedroom is tidy was the last one. And I was like, oh, the eldest must have been about 9, if that. There's about 3, 4 siblings there, from 2,
Good set of
6,
principles,
8.
mate.
And I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
lovely.
just touched
Nice
my
to see at
heart.
that age. Yeah, it's lovely.
Touched my heart. Told the father, I went, nah, then Pony, give me a cup of tea and some biscuits. Says, nah, then who's written that? And he says, "Oh, it's such and such a daughter," and I went, "That's brilliant." He says, "That's really, I know, I'll remember that." Mhm. Just
Nice,
telling
mate.
them all. Yeah, discipline, and that's from children, from our offspring, from the assets, fruit of the loins, and what we sire something magical, and over time we submit it literally to a world of punishment and torture and pain through our ignorance, and this system is not designed for us to go, but what about this then? I'm not that. That's not me. What about that's not me? Come on, let's remix it. That's not my name. They call me Mister. They call me, that's not my name. That's
Hmm.
how we've got it now, and that's the one thing that they cannot, and that's where we're at. And it's this Famaland start to get on the same level and get stood beside us. I think we can have some fun, good, lawful, civil fun with the system, the civil system. We can slow down.
Stop it
If
in
you
his
don't,
tracks.
yeah, if you don't agree with it, don't use it because you don't have to. There's the thing, but if you don't go and sign for the rent, whatever benefits, and when you lose your income and your job, what do we do? That's where we're at now. We're actually saying these things. Well, we need an international help then. We need recognition. We need to know how the money works and where the money comes from. Well, we've done that. We need to know who's got the bank reserves. And Andy and I was talking today about the BIS, the Bank International Switzerland. Is it Bank of Basel? Basel Bank. Oh, there's too much here. I'm tired. But yeah, you know where I'm on about. That bank over there, Switzerland, never been bombed, never had a war. There's a shitload of money there. Apparently, they turned something like 10 million tons of gold into francs. Well, if that was true, they'd still be minting the fucking francs today. There's a shitload of gold kicking about, and this sweat equity that we're pushing to them, they're collecting up, and they're basically just doing what the hell they want with it. And then they're overinflating interest rates and doing this fiat currency and evicting us and having foreclosures and having SPVs. And it really has got to be the most comedic thing I've ever seen. Once you can
What is
stand.
inflation?
Oh,
Inflation is just silent tax, more tax.
so we need a system that we don't consent to with the legal submission, which would be our own private system, which would be a trust system that would be set up. And you lot would have to have trusts as well. And we can have other trusts and shell trusts. And we'll get this conceptualization out there through the Sovereign Masters Educational Workshop, which is produced on the homepage of spospro.com, available for download. Document 3 is done over the weekend, and then it will be done by next week. And you have got there all of what I know and what the Facebook group have chatted about for the last 36, 40 months, roughly, maximum 40 months since November 2015. And I've got more documents to bring. I am allowed to set up a group, family, anything on Facebook like you are, and you are allowed under your free will and entitlement to go and invite others and discuss stuff. If you want to collate that information up, you can, I'm being accused of stealing here. What I'd like to call it is a master brain. When I set it up, I put a pinned post up. And when the admins come in, I told them what we was doing and everybody consented. So we had an agreement. So all those spitting out the fucking dummy now saying, oh, Dave steals this and does
Just
whatever,
go.
we've put that to bed. Yeah, and we're moving on our own way in our own realm in the private with honor and clean hands. And if we are kicking arse for the Lord, it's because we have got those attributes about us. So the next step now is to work out, if we don't submit and we don't go legal, what do we do? And that requires ambassadors, diplomats, you know, all these things, treaties, declarations. Anybody for a declaration? Anybody for being, a
One night
diplomat?
with you, mate. That's what I'm now praying for.
Oh,
The
you all
things
right?
that we two could plan would make my dreams come true.
Diplomats, ambassadors. Yes, not one night with me. You just ruined it. You've killed the mood.
Just call my name. What? I'll be right by your side, Dave. Any of our fam, call my name. I'll be right by your side, mate.
I can see
What?
that smile on your face.
Absolutely, mate. Why not? It's Friday night. Enjoy yourself. Let your hair down. I've got my lipstick on. I'm good to go, mate. It's all. I've always lived a very quiet life. Here we go. Very quiet life. I ain't never did no wrong.
Except now. That's an oxymoron.
Life without you. Been too lonely too long. There you go, mate. You can't love it, ain't you? I cannot like a bit of Elvis on a Friday night. Lord, I've cleared the house. I'm sitting by myself. The living room's emptied.
I bet it has. Yeah, what's the chat room saying?
What do you mean I bet it has? I've emptied the chat room as well. They've all gone home.
Oh,
Everyone's gone. It's just me and you, mate.
You gizzard.
It's just me and you. We've got no viewers, nothing. It's just me and you having our own little private party, mate. And you ain't in the mood for it by the looks of accounts. What's gone on?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm all right, brother.
Are you Jew?
No, my mum's called Julia. I'm David.
Oh, mate.
Mama Juju. Wow. Sneaking on sun and moon. That was a blast. Oh, wow. On the red wine as well. Called me a little bastard when I was a kid. Talk about disclosure. She wasn't lying, though. It was true.
Well, to be fair, mate, when we kids were all bastardised, let's be honest.
A little, yeah, when I was an infant, little soldier.
The name is bastardised. It's registered and taken up on the high seas, mate. We're all of one.
Being born out of wedlock.
I'm here, 36, watching the girls are saying, oh no, I was just, sorry, I was joking. Just my dry humour. Trying to be funny, which I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Them dad jokes kill me.
Hi, Indy, your mum is great and a good kisser. Oh, that's nice, ain't it? From Mad Pie Man.
Mad Pie Man. I'm not going to say I can't. I'm really good at biting my lip now. Look. Thank you, Mad Pie Man.
I'm just winding you up. Says, hi, Indy, your mum is great.
See, I'm glad see, look at that. Thank you. See,
just like test your acts. I know you can't see the chat room, mate.
Yeah, I've developed.
You'd do it for me, mate. The so toast. You've done it for me, you bugger, you.
Yeah, it is true, actually. I cannot tell a lie.
You've asked for me cheery self to come back, and here I am in my old cheery self, and you're not used to it. Look, you ain't ready for it.
No, I'm not. Let me sit down. Fire away. All is good. No, it's good to have you back. It really is. It's good to have you back. I was a little bit worried, and yeah, so we're subscribers and whatnot. We had sister Angela asking about you, and some others going, "What's happening?"
Peace and love, everybody. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for feeling my pain. It is what it is. But all of us go through it, don't we? Ups and downs in life. It is what it is. Just sort of an extra sensitive soul, and it takes its toll on a boy. But we're all
right. Just thinking, what should we talk about next? What do you want to bring up, or is there anything in the chat room? Anything anybody wants to get off the chest, ask?
To be honest, I haven't looked in there, mate. Elvis is the ultimate man, says Angela. Yeah, dead straight. Great to hear, Andy. Thanks, Jez. Cruising around late as all. There's always a remedy. We'll pay up front, of course. Here we go. Angela Williams, David / Andy. I want to join but don't have PayPal and don't really want it. Do you accept check? Want a t-shirt and a hoodie, etc. And now in a position to make a donation. Over to you, brother. So I have no clue of how you handle the financial side of the trust.
Oh yeah, just have to email me, and then we will talk and fix it over the weekend. Yeah, we have various ways. So
there you go.
PayPal's the most easiest, and it's available.
She doesn't want it though, mate. She doesn't want PayPal.
Exactly, yeah. So if she emails me, David at splspro.com, and then we shall chat, and I'll talk through the options.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Peace. Absolutely, it's Angela. She's got a spanner next to her name. I'll just go ahead and I'll just seal the deal right now, Dave, and I'll tell her that you'll personally give her a delivery. No problem. There you go. How's that?
What? Oh, you volunteering? There.
No problem. Next time you're skipping past, you'll just drop some in for her. No problem.
Andrew, what's he doing?
Why you keep exactly? Carry on.
Angela, just send me an email. We'll sort it out. Disregard all of Andy's facetious comments there.
That's to do with delivery with a smile. Provide a service without exchange. Lovely.
Yeah, well, shame the government can't give us that, eh? Oof.
They can, mate. You have to require it, though, mate. It's no good requesting because complaining and requesting and all such likes gets ignored, as we've all come to understand and learn painfully. So it's time man makes his wishes and requirements.
They don't listen. They don't like to listen. This is the problem. One is that they're not trained and they're not knowledgeable. Two, when they are, they're just pompous. I don't know.
We have to take it to the correct individuals. That's why. Don't talk to the lower ranks. We take it straight to the whomever is involved at the top of whichever tree you're going to. That's where you go.
I see videos of
what officers. They called the special branch. They don't call them the special branch for nothing. Which branch of the tree are you from? They're at the top, mate.
Yeah, MI5, MI6.
Alan Family Richardson. I'll have whatever Andy's on. See what I mean, Dave? They're loving it. What's the matter with you?
Like Elvis.
Just completely brought me back down now, mate. Completely brought me back down.
Stop playing to audience now. I know what you're
doing. Completely ruined me rave, mate. I was so uplifted, mate, and now I'm just way past my point of equilibrium.
Trying to manipulate.
Please, everybody, all I can say is if you want a nice time, please come to Eye of Creator and we'll get it on across there. It's no good here.
You just look desperate. You just look like a social slag now. Look at you. You look like the whore of, not Babylon, but YouTube. You've turned into the whore of YouTube creator.
I've learned from the best. Don't you judge me by your standards.
Never mind Eye of Creator, Eye of Babylon.
Now then, says the teapot.
It's got an eye in it. It's good. You can put an eye in there. What have you done, fool? You're wearing eyes, unless it's Selassie eye.
Oh, I never thought I'd see the green eye in you, but there you go.
It's the only eye you'll see.
Spiteful cow. You men are all the same, I tell you. You're after the same thing.
No, stop it. You're scaring me now. Go back to normal. Act ended. Exit.
Enactment. Roll.
Overruled.
Stage.
Yeah.
I need a brew, and I'm going to have to go into the kitchen and do a brew.
You don't have to turn it to a Yorkshireman to do a brew, though, unless it's a Yorkshire tea.
Well, it's like Mum used to make, you see.
Okay, then. I'll go in and have a look at the chat. Finish with it.
Are you outside more zigzagging? I thought you were telling me you're packing up. What, are you packing up in between packing up, or you? What's going on here?
Job today, I'll tell you now. Proper big job.
Lord.
Me around, checking everything, see if it was dropping any paint.
Listen, these jobs from heaven and jobs from hell, with these jobs that we volunteer to go on, you volunteered to go there today, so you're a willing participant, so you should have made it your own heaven. You should have got your tunes on your phone, got your earphones in, and do what the man got to do to put the bread on the table and make it your heaven. You're there, a willing participant, voluntary. You know, you may have been getting some reward at the end or some type of exchange. However, you volunteered yourself forth. So that's what I think to myself when I get to some of these skips sometimes and they're absolutely overloaded. And I don't know what it is, these builders and stuff. They like to have all deliveries. So yeah, put it around the skip, get it as tight to the skip as you can. Always tons of sand and pallets and bricks and blocks and everything. Yep, stack it all around the skip. So, of course, when I come along the drive, I've got to move it all out the way and stuff. And I can either get down about it and shout at people and start kicking and throwing and thraping and smash it all off with my lorry and stuff, or I can just override and keep mellow and do it and think, well, hang on a minute, I've volunteered to be here today. I can make this good. I can have the crack with the lads, and, you know, this can be heaven. I can make the good crack. And they say, come on, lads, now. Are you going to throw this off, or am I going to chuck it on their car? What are you doing? Make the crack of it. And start chucking stuff off. But now I try and be a little bit more joyful. I'm joyous with most, as for the last 10 years or what, you know. And it don't half help some. It stops my heart, you know. I had a stroke in 2008, And things have changed since then for me. You know, it's man's way of thinking and stuff. Because things change in the blink of an eye. You cross over the road, get run over, or whatever. You just don't know what's around the corner, and things change instantly. I was sitting on my settee, minding my own business, and in the blink of an eye, I'm having a turn. I took off to special care and all this shit, and you know, unbeknownst to myself, what's going on here. And
Yeah,
it makes you realise how delicate things are. You're on a balance here, on a knife's edge all the time. Don't take things for granted. Appreciate things. Appreciate your family. Love those around you. You know.
Well, yeah, your time, your finite time.
So
That's it.
instead of calling all these things from hell, it was a day from hell. Well, if you volunteered yourself to be there, if you will, you know, your free will turned you up. Make the best of it. Make it your heaven. Any way we can.
Yeah, no, that's right. The kingdom of heaven is within, so it is said.
Exactly. Heaven is on earth. It says so in the book because it's within. God is within. It's all within. There we go. A bit of brown sugar in there, mate.
Early morning drive with I Have Creator morning show, says Jerry.
Do you know I could do that as well? Because I'm up at the stupid o'clock every day, aren't I? Because of my profession. So it could be a thought, but we'll see, mate. Because much of the time I'm travelling as well, I'm not sure what the reception would be. And good morning, Vietnam, one of those ones. It'd be ace, wouldn't it? Read a few scriptures, talk about the perpetual state of the realm.
Good morning, Vietnam. The cry of the Valkyries, the helicopters going over the sea.
The Hueys.
Yeah, is that what I seen on seeing there? Was that Apocalypse Now? Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was we saying earlier? Sinbad, the sailor. That was it, weren't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Sinbad the Sailor. Sin and bad in hand is a sailor. Bloody hell's a triage of just badness. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's better. Wet the lips, mate. Wet the gills.
The boat people.
And I'm sat here literally. I'm so like I said to you before we came on. You know, we have our little private chat backstage before we come. I'm sat here in a bloody vest because it's frosty out, and you know the gills suffer more than I do. So I'm sitting here literally bloody cooking, and they're all wrapped up in blankets and God knows what. So that's going to get me a drink. I'm dehydrating here.
I'm just reading comments, mate. I'm back in room.
No worries, lad. No worries. We're all good. How many have we got in? Can we see? Oh, 34. Bonjour. Thank you, everybody. It's a good number for a Friday evening. They could be out enjoying themselves, having a very nice time, but hopefully they're enjoying themselves and having a nice time with us. Alan of the Richardson, any difference in brown and white sugar? Yes, brown sugar is less refined. White sugar is just pure cancer in a spoon. You know, I advocate using a fork in the white sugar bowl. You know, like every good other council estate does. I grew up with a fork in the sugar bowl because we were Scottish, but it's also healthy, beneficial. I've learned as we got older. The number one acid in our body is sugar. So, you know, the less refined that it is the better it is for us, obviously.
I see that there's a new viewer or someone else dropped in called Ill Seeing. FPV's dropped in. Hello there. GoPro Flat Earth. Shabba.
Bonjour.
Frank
Bonjour.
MCM.
Is there any reason why we've got our cameras off this evening, or we're just incognito because pretending no one's seen us before, or what's gone on? Do we know?
Andy Greggs. Hello. Ben in the field. I'm just tired and I just can't be showing my tired self today.
Okay.
I'm just reserving the. I'm saving you from a horrible sight.
That'll do for me, mate.
Don't forget, we're trying to be as private as possible. Everybody knows what we look like, but yeah, it's just we have the right to do that.
It saves the bandwidth, that's what I'm going to say. I don't even know what it is, I've just heard someone else say it. You know what I'm like with computers.
It does say that if you've got a sketchy connection, for those, if you're ever on a chat, then you can take the video off and it makes the audio
We've had
better.
to do it, but we've had to do it before on Skype and whatnot when we've done conferences and stuff. Honey any good? Of course, honey is good. If you can get local sourced organic honey, and if you have what do you call it in the summer, hay fever and stuff like this, and it will help to suppress it because it's also all the local pollen and stuff that the bees are using and stuff. So absolutely, it's man's natural sugar, isn't it? So that's why they go to lengths and breadths. Have you seen how they collect it? Some places across the plain. Lord Almighty, man's risking his life with some of those flying insects. They bloody kill you. And if they don't, they fall from the tree will because it's a couple of thousand feet at the top of a mountain and all this type of affair. You know, it's literally risking life and limb to go fetch the nectar, and that's what it is, the nectar of life. And that's why they produce it in the way they do, and that's why man is born into the land for remedy, because it's all here for us. Everything is here for us. Only corporation has taken over it and selling it to us for our sweat equity. Isn't it a beautiful thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can get yourself some locally sourced. Manuka honey is the one, but it's not cheap. It's from Australia and stuff, and apple cider vinegar, turmeric, all these types of things, garlic, you know, just home remedy. You don't need any pharmaceuticals whatsoever. Everything is here. Anything they've got in a tube only comes from a plant anyway. And then they put a price tag on it. So man is born to the land for remedy. Everything, the land, the air, the water, is all here for us. The medicines are all growing from the ground. From the eucalyptus to the hemp to everything that's here.
Good point, that actually mentioned that the remedy, maintenance, and cure. It's like man asks, where does it come from? What is it? Why is the gold? How come there is gold? And if they haven't researched and looked at the documentation and the creation of the crown and what's happened and the proclamations and all of this stuff and the history and the battles and Jesuits and all that. So the mineral wealth of the realm is man's. It's not Nestle's. It's not Cadbury's. It's not, Pfizer's. It's not Monsanto's. It's not Cargill's. It's not any of these, or these corporations or, Del Monte or whoever it might be that's, growing fruits and producing and making juice or Buxton water, Asda, Tesco, Morrison's water. These guys that are just taking the mineral, because in water is mineral water, lest we not forget and stuff. It comes from the minerals of the rocks out in Derbyshire and Castleford and Peckham Spring, Delboy, and whatever. And so they bottle it and sell it us, and whatever spring it's come from, wherever your local spring is where you'll get water from. And then you can buy the Evian, whatever imports that have got added hydrochloride, fluoride, and stuff to it. So hang on a minute, it comes out the earth pure, and you bottle it, and 90% of these bottled waters have got added poison. Well, we're buying it because it's come out the earth, and we want pure water. And you put it in a plastic bottle with BPs and BPAs or whatever they are, poison it anyway with the gases, and also add poisons to it furthermore for our bodies. So it's like we just don't get it. Man is poisoning man.
There's millions of pounds in water at the moment.
Because this BPA business with the plastic, man is knowingly poisoning man, because they'll sell you bottles that contain, poisonous gases and things and plastics and whatnot, and then they'll sell you one that doesn't. So if you've got one that doesn't, why have we got one that poisons us? Point blank, why? It shouldn't be fucking. And then you're putting these chemicals in. It's a load of bullshit. It's absolute. And we put up with it. We put up with it because it's still in the shops, and we don't just not protest and so forth, but manage it intelligently and just boycott the shit. Whoever's doing it, just boycott them, like what Liverpool did with the Sun newspaper. All right, then. We're living in a commercial world, do we? So let's start playing commercial games with them in a way, which is what we're saying about the red tape and the cogs and so forth, and the actual liability. Because if there is going to be a claim and you're going to try and get money and assets and cars and forced adoption from man, then we'll make it hard for you, because you're going to go and try and get it anyway. they're going to try and get it. The House will try and win. So you need to do something because, otherwise it's a sure death, a sure win. They will collect. And the collection needs to be earned, I'm afraid. And if it's not lawful and you can point that out, then it can't be collected. If you're vulnerable and it's not your fault, it can't be collected. There's mitigating circumstances and they've been overlooked and it needs to be pointed out. That's why we say put everything into dispute and then we work it out. But the thing is, we shouldn't be disputing it because a claim made on an estate is paid out in 90 days. So therefore, they put a claim on our estate without our knowledge. We don't administer it. The government is administering it. They pay out for us. So the sweat equity is a fucking bonus.
That's
it's
right.
actually a bonus. It's a secondary payment.
So then they instruct a meddler to come round and collect further.
You are shitting me. So you're telling me you're asking me for money and you threaten to lock man up and giving me a custodial bish, bash and bosh. Take this and do that. Take little Billy, Johnny, fucking whatever. And they come into oh my days. And it's all because we don't know. And your way of getting out of it is, no, we've printed it, albeit in Latin, this, that, the other, in unfathomable contextual government speak. Fuck's sake, you've even printed it in a language which is foreign to us. You've done it in such a way that you have to start at the back of it and work your way to the front just to stand a chance. The fuck is this? Ah, well, we did used to read right to left. I see. We'll just mix a load of old ways and with new ways and languages and sub-languages and paraphrases and legal terms and hyphenates and tables and put it online and, have to spin round when the moon is in the third half of the seventh quadrant and for 3 minutes and 40. Oh, forgive me, strength. And that's just off the top of my head. It's a joke. And we put up with it, and we are sick, so we get the claim, we go private. Happy days.
Jobs are really good.
If that don't work,
anything for underactive thyroid, says Angela Williams. Well,
an indigo child.
Underactive thyroid. Check out lymphatics. All is your lymphs. It's all your nodes. It runs all of your. It is what it is. Have a look yourself. Lymphatics. It's all of your molecular and cellular structure and how we operate. And your glands and everything all come under there, under your lymphs. Your lymphatics operate all of your glands, and your thyroid being one of those. And if you get into what I'm speaking of, it will show you how to understand how to look after your lymphs in order to look after your thyroid. So. It's all about hydration and the food that we eat. It's the type of water that we drink. I mean, everyone's buying this spring pack and water or bottled water or whatever. Yeah. Mate, you get some of it red.
Designer water. Designer now.
So, some of them are like 8.5 pH level and 8.7 pH
Smart
level.
water. It's smart water.
Exactly.
For itself.
Come on. If you start reading into what's really in this water, it's really quite scary. I only advocate Evian water. It's slightly dearer than all the rest, but it's the silicone properties that are in there are really good for us, and it's not tampered with. So there are others, but that's the one that comes to the top of my head.
Oh, you little endorser, you.
But there you go, mate. We are what we eat. We are what we drink. It becomes us, It isn't bacon for long, 20 minutes, it's us. The water that we drink, if it's stagnated, it becomes us. So we're to take time as consumers, and when we're into this consumerism business, don't rush it quite so much. Read what you're buying, because much of the time you're buying a frilly packet that's full of poison, All your fruits and veggies, I advocate trying to get your own and go get a polytunnel, get a greenhouse, get your little patch out there. That's what I'm doing this year. I've been promising to do it for bloody 2 years. I've been too busy doing my other personal private life. But this is the time now because I'm sick of all this stuff that they're bringing to us, and all of our stuff from the Lincolnshire flats and all the flatlands and all the stuff that's grown in this country. We've only given 10% of it, and it's put on the top shelf and called organic, and ridiculous numbers up there. There's like phone numbers, some of these prices for meat and fish and stuff. And the rest of it is all sent abroad for premium prices, while they import a load of shat from Spain grown in clay and whatnot in tunnels and feeding us this old shit if it ain't out the freezer, Let's be honest here.
Oh, that's it. Radish.
We have got to change it.
radishes from not Israel. I'm sure it said Israel or somewhere like that. When we,
How
me
the
and Mum,
bloody hell are we? How the bloody hell are we eating strawberries in December? Come on now, get a grip. Get
yeah.
a grip. Look, we need to be eating seasonally. Simple. When
Um,
people, oh, my stomach's killing me and I can't, I've got IBS and I'm this and I'm that. And come on, please, get back to basics. It's dead easy and simple.
some of these strawberries are grown in hydroponics in warehouses in England, so
And
they have
sprayed
the
with goodness knows what.
yeah. It's not so much import now. They've got the hydroponic system, haven't they? In warehouse, they've got the fake UV lighting, and they can grow anything. Like they obviously grow ganja under
Yeah,
the light.
like weed. Yeah.
Yeah, you can grow vegetables. That's what the system's for. Growth of anything. Man is good at engineering. We engineer solutions to problems. We have a fiscal, fiat, currency, debt slavery problem that's thousands of years old, and man hasn't managed to engineer a way out of it. Tell me another one. So we've found 5 ways out of it in 3 years. So not 5 ways that you could, but just routes that are built on shit that just won't stand up, that are just move over. That's not real. You're having a giraffe. He's having a babble. It's not real.
Hmm. Well, the only way I advocate is, mate, is distilling your own water and obviously adding your own minerals back to it once you've killed it, 'cause it's dead water, isn't it, once you've distilled it. So add back your own vitamins and minerals and crack on that way. I don't advocate buying anything if you can help it, mate. So, it's just
You can
fuel in the fire every time you pass money over that till you're fueling the fire every time.
Yeah, you can. I've distilled some water, then I've put some colloidal silver into it, then I've put lemon into it, then I've spun it round in a what's the word now? Whirlpool,
Yeah,
tornado. So
because of
it's
the
distilled.
vortex.
Yeah, tornado. Mine's called. Yeah, it says tornado, vortex, whirlpool. Yeah, same thing. So it's distilled. It's got silver in it. It's got lemon in it, and it's been through a whirlpool. That's four things
Hmm.
that's had done to it already before
And
I've
for
even
those that
drank
don't
it.
know, it's because water contains memory as well. So much like, I mean, bless her heart, Shona got me onto this sparkling water. You can buy, when you buy like Tesco's own brand water, 17 pence or what, well, right next to it for the same price, I've also got sparkling water where they
Yep,
carbonate it. And the
yep,
carbonated water is really fizzy, much like Lucozades and all these energy drinks. And all these energy drinks are super fizzy because when they carbonate it to the hilt that they do, the water retains the memory. So I'm buying now this sparkling water and I'm adding my own juices to it that don't have all the toxins in and stuff. A bit more expensive than the rest, but they're nice. And make your own juice that way, and you're using the active water that's in there carbonated. But they don't tell you that on the label or on the bottle or nothing like that because then you're not going to buy the rest of the pip that they've got you into, are they? But that's the truth of it right there, like Dave speaks of the vortexing and stuff like that. It's because of the memory of that it retains.
mm. Well, it's restructuring the water on an atomic level. To be fair, it's atomic science, which I am not qualified to speak about, but which I have learned and tried to cognize the basic that structure memory. Water holds memory, gigabytes worth of memory, and a gram of DNA will hold a terabyte of memory. Work that funky shit out. A gram of
You better
DNA
believe we
holds
are
a
water.
terabyte. So
We're over 70% water, aren't we?
so when we say we're having a download, right, and when you wake, you walk into memories that like you know how to do things, or suddenly, have you ever tried to do something and you found out after a couple of attempts you were quite good at doing it, but you never done it before, and you'd only just learned how to do it, but for some reason your mates like it's beginner's luck, that's begin. Well, I call the beginner's luck inherent memory gene. That's just that we slip into bits that we've obviously somewhere along the lines it's information and data that's easy for us. Some people can never learn to ride a bike, some people can never learn to swim, some people go to learn to swim the first time, ride a bike, and they're off, and they're like, what, how did you uh, some people take a long time. It's just that I'm just using examples of these memories. And water, what was you going to say about water and memory then? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it, mate. Right there, when you vortex it and stuff, and when you carbonate it and stuff, much with these energy drinks, that's what they're doing right there. Put some other acids and flavourings and hyper sugars in there, and you're off and away. But You know, you can get the same type of activeness or activity from just sparkling water. Add a nice flavour to it, you're up and away. Like live food, if you're eating live plants, it's live into you. We are live, active live water, active live food. You know what we're meant to be eating: the fruits, the
Electric
berries, the
food.
nuts, everything. That's what it's all here for.
Dr. Sebi, electric food. Let's look at that video. Dr. Sebi, R.I.P. He
I've
does
never seen it. I
no.
don't know. It is. It's for electrolytes. We are electrical connectivity. Our heartbeat is electrical connectivity. You know, it stimulates. It sends pulses to the brain. We are full of electricity, and
And
we need
salt.
those
So
type
we
of
need salt.
stimulant. Yeah,
Yeah.
salt is for the alkalinity,
Important.
and it, you know, salt water is a much better conductor than normal water.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
obviously
why
because
they
of
say
its
to have a low
structure.
salt diet. They're saying have a low salt, keep the salt low, don't have too much salt. But salt's bad for you, yeah. If you don't have enough salt, then you'll be like
You need
not.
enough salt, mate.
Yeah,
That's right,
it's more. It's a
and
lot worse.
potassiums and all these things.
It's a lot worse for you not to have enough salt than to have too much. I know that might sound
Yes, because you can sweat it out, mate, but you
yeah,
can't
that's
add it in if you haven't got enough.
like with when I was looking at getting bigger and balancing up pea proteins and proteins. I learned that when your body ingests more than what it needs of minerals, vitamins, and substances such as that, then for a short time it will be able to dispose of them as extras. Over long periods of time, it will then start to build up as residue within
Hmm.
the body, and supplementary side effects will start to begin, like having too much salt over a long period of time will result in internal liver, organ, kidney, heart, respiratory things failing because the salt, is very bad, but it will kill you ultimately. But your body does get rid of it, and you will sweat it out. Like it's just interesting, though. Very interesting that the dietary advice for man is still not steadfast and rock solid. If we was intelligent with all this machinery and going to the moon and the dark side, landing a module on the dark side of the moon, well done. But there's still starving women and children on the face of the planet. So, can we just not refocus on the face of the planet and look at the starving women and children and the shit that's going on before we go across to other planets and wonder about them? Oh
And
my
people
days.
sleeping on the streets in minus temperatures.
What are we doing spending money going over
And they
there?
haven't even got a sleeping bag because some council independent inspectors will come along and deemed it as litter and taken it away from them and put it in the skip. You know, so these poor people who have less than nothing are having taken what little they have away from them, classing it as litter because they've gone off somewhere to get a cup of tea and left their belongings on the floor somewhere. You know, where can they take their things? They've got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
It's got to
it's
be
messed
changed,
up.
mate. It's got to be changed, mate.
China. I'm going to go back to China. If you mess around there, you get a point system. Then you don't get any access. You get denied. Your point system. You can't get on a plane. You can't do this. You can't. Your credit cards get revoked. Your bank account gets closed. You lose your job. You can't get anything state-wise help. You won't get anything. And I'm like, what? Is this for real? What do you mean? Everyone's chipped or something, are they then? How does this is like Demolition Man or something, or Judge Dredd, or Judge Dredd meets Demolition Man, meets the Wicker Man, meets all kind of man. What the? Just somebody stop me. And then I've had a look into it at what China's communist style regime of social structure and control and reward is it's just unfathomable that this is actually happening on this in this day and age. I don't. I'm lost. I'm lost for words.
Because it's run by a heartless machine. It's plausible deniability. There's no actual culprit to face for it, mate. It's all just done by a corporation. That's why. It's all
But
just done for a wage.
is it just me that's looked at the Chinese, history and the well, what would you call it there? The architectural historical legacy, which is more than 6,000 years old. It spans back 200, 500,000, millions, in fact, some of them, these temples and cuttings and castings and things that haven't been shown to us. Not even China understands its lineage and what's there and these like equivalent of megalithic, but over that way. I'm not going to go into it all now, but it really is
are well covered up. And don't forget the dragon and the winged serpent and everything they've got. The yin and the yang is a direct correlation to the toroidal vortex mathematics. I'm like, you are shitting me. What? And then they've got them all in this little, like, I don't know, military, digital military, if you like. And they may as well just basically get Korea to start printing a worldwide uniform, and we should all start wearing this uniform, if you like, then, and
Well, you
logging
got a
into
choice
our.
of two haircuts in North Korea.
What's going on? Hungary's out on the streets marching in -5 due to the slave law. France has got the yellow vest. We're giving bombs to Arabs that are bombing elsewhere. It's like, oh, wow. And by the way, Donald Trump's pulled out of Iraq, Afghanistan, and all of these places because it's about time we did. I'm like, what? Okay. Trump's doing some interesting. The whole world's a mess, isn't it? To be fair, not just our realm here. Really is a shambles. Australia's having that president. He's not doing too well. I forgot his name, but he's Collins, something. Is it? I forget his
I
name.
wouldn't be able to tell you, mate. I don't look at those circuses, mate. I don't waste my energy. Couldn't tell thee.
No, I don't, but I just get updated in news formats and things elsewhere on media and posts and blogs and that. I'm looking and YouTube recommended, and I'm like, wow, this really does. Which just, if ever there was a time for man to interject and slow a cog down anywhere, it would be now. If all to be considered and all to be put together, it is really when we was nippers. I know stuff was bad, but it was well, yeah. You could argue that. Remember, I've mentioned. I'm sorry to record. I'm sorry for anybody that's lost anybody in this. But Lockerbie, Pan Am, there was shit going down when we was little. The island, again, sorry for I've got Irish blood and lineage too, but the bombings and what was going off and the atrocities, nail bombs, metal bombs, things that were happening. Man had something to say, and they said it, but it wasn't man saying it. It was government funded splinter cell shadow operation. You're looking into it now. It's like, wow, almost like an orchestrated lead for Jerry Adams to get where he was on that select committee party seat, being, and whoa, just bakes my brain, Andy, because we've seen a lot. I'm not saying we're old because I'm 40, you're 35, is it? And we've seen, we're both about 40, yeah.
What? I'm 28.
Seen a lot. And for now, it's, nothing has gained control. Nothing is getting better. And it's like, oh, we'll go back to the Reds then. Jeremy will save us. That's right, everyone. Middle class. Jeremy will save us. God, give me strength. May as well get Boris or someone. Jeremy Clarkson as an emergency measure. If Brexit fails, let's just get Clarkson in. Yeah, we'll have a national thing, and he'll be all right. If we can't get us in, I don't want the job of sorting this shit out. No chance. It's not worth. No, but get someone like Clarkson in just to see what they can do. Oh wow, because we know we do better than what's going to happen and where we are, what they're going to propose.
Clarkson.
Yeah,
That time I woke up one morning. I normally have the telly on mute in the background, like, so I watch it for the clock when I go to work, and I'm putting my boots on and whatnot. And I seen bloody what's his name, Johnson Boris, come zipping in on this zip wire thing upside down, clinging on by the knackers. I thought, in this twat's foreign secretary or something or other, whatever his title or capacity was at the given time. I thought, Lord Almighty, if this brat's what we've got to advocate for our Anglo mass, going forth in this realm, we are in so much deep water, and it's bloody hot water as well. It's going to be painful because this ain't going to end up pretty, is it? Let's be honest. What on earth is going on?
Yeah, him and David Davis ended up bottling it and legging it. That's what I mean. And it's like they shouldn't allow that. We shouldn't have allowed that. Um, yeah, it just shows it, doesn't it? What we allow and what we tolerate. The system does push us, and when we don't kick back, that's a sign it wants. It's like, go on then, roll it out. We'll see what happens. No, heads will fucking roll. I tell you now, heads will fucking roll. They'll not stand for that, and they do it, and we just go, oh, it'll be all right, be right. I
Two
don't
letters,
know what. Go on.
two letters of complaints from food pensioners. It'll be covered on the BBC programme. What's her name with the glasses? Weakest Link. She used to do it, didn't she? But they don't care, mate. They don't care what the viewers' thoughts are or whatnot, if you like it or love it or if you hate it or what. They're going to show it anyway. It's all a part of the agenda, part of the propaganda, part of the lame streamness that it is, mate. And it's all just creating money at the same time as well. It isn't done for nothing. Nothing is done for nothing. Let's be honest here. It's all for that fiat currency.
Oh, we're not doing this for nothing. We're doing it for, we've got many reasons why we're doing it. And, being a shill and informant and things that are going about or a copycat or self, this, that, the other is clearly not what's, I'd like to remind everybody that
I've been called many things, mate.
Yeah, well, this is it. And I'd like to remind everybody that isn't in the know that the state stopped me, David, from seeing my assets, Brendan and Samuel, by courts and barristers and personage and barratry and fuckery, since what I've come to learn it and call it as a sovereign way of good old fuckery, legal fuckery, cost 20 grand, took 2 years and got me fucking nowhere. Court writ, not worth, anything. So, you can't enforce it. You need to go back to court. You need to go and beg and submit. And, we don't understand what's going off in the High Court. Oh, yes, we do. We've gone and learned. Now we're coming back. And that's why I am here. I had a barrister, 2 years and 20 grand, High Court, got a writ. It all went tits up and she moved house. Oh, you've got to go back to court. What? Have I? No, I'm not. I'm going to go and find out what the hell this system is. Makes no sense. This cannot be normal. You know what I mean? Oh, you've got to pay us money. Why have I? Well, for your kids. Why? I want to see them. Oh, we're not telling you where they are. Well, I'm not paying you for them then. Kiss my, you know what I mean? And that's the realm we're in. Where's my, well, no, we won't tell you. You're obligated to. You work for me. No, we don't. Oh, no, you don't. And they were right. And it got me in hot water, that false belief. Public servants. They're fucking agents. They're in a trust. Fuck's sake. I'm talking about my blood. Advising me wrongly, everybody. YouTube, there was nothing out there about trusts and agents and the relationship of which is a constructive public statutory trust. So those that say, oh, well, it wasn't SPLs and David and Andy and the admins and whatever that helped expose this. No, it wasn't, because there was stuff out there. If you found it, luckily, but nobody was shouting about it. No one was bringing it to you in such ways as and examining it and opening it up and trying to put it into practice and going to these lengths and extremities, but they all are now. Seen that, everyone's an expert in trust now. All of a sudden, Andy.
Oh yes, seek and ye shall find. It says in my book, mate.
I'm not having a go at anyone. I'm just saying, in the moment, it does make man laugh. Think we're blind just because we don't go and retaliate, speak, react, go and join, kick back, be part of. Sometimes we do the opposite. We close accounts down and move away. As we see that there's a big war coming and a big wave, we are well prepared ahead of it.
I got my surfboard and shorts ready, mate. I'm gonna have a nice time.
And for those that are thinking of war as in bombs and tanks and airplanes, no, there's a different
no.
Different wars going off.
Silent war, mate. Silent war.
You don't see or hear them.
Would you believe it?
Wars on your intelligence, wars on your health, wars on your offspring, wars on your everything, really, your freedoms, your tax, your finance, your mortgages, the savings, that kind, credit card and the Bank of England, then the schooling, educational system, your workplace, legislation, you know what I mean? Road traffic codes. How many rules and regulations do we actually, just think about it, do you actually have to adhere to from when you wake up to when you lay your head back on that pillow? How many? It's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, that we look at. Crossing the road rules, think about it.
There's thousands of rules written.
And every day.
Thousands of rules written. We probably break hundreds every day unbeknownst, but as long as you don't break the law that we know as the natural law, then we're okay. I am bothered about their rules. That's for when they're at work. I don't work for them. I'm not a state employee. I'm not a ward of the state. I'm nothing to do with the state. I'm not under their governance. So whatever they get up to at work today, lovely. Have a nice time.
But we assumed you was. Sorry, we assumed you was. Yeah, you never get that, do you?
Well, allow me to get your assumptions and presumptions back into order, young man. And if I need to commerce any further with you, it's going to cost you dearly.
That's it. This is what we get. And then sometimes, it's... it's a nice ending. Sometimes it's not, but it doesn't help that the man in black in the outside in the public domain, which is what it is. It's not private. Is out there trying to use codes, public codes, to enforce what they call law, and they call you a criminal act. A criminal act has happened here. A criminal offence is what they say. No, not a criminal act. A criminal
Oxymoron.
offence. You're like, well, which one is it then, pal? What's the difference? Well, an offence is not a crime. A criminal is a criminal, and an offender is an offender. Which one are you trying to say I am? I'll be half a dozen of one and six of the other. That's what we mate Dave talks like when he's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Been drinking, officer. Then they get, have you got something to hide? Just crazy, isn't it? So, yes, it's not our fault that they run a backward system when it comes to all of what we've discussed so far. And
it's a doctrine. At the end of the day, you go to school, we've all been to school, we've all got the same jobs, we all sweep up the same. It's just a doctrine that we're all under until you open your eyes and see what's really going on around you. Simple as that. And then we see the doctrine of the natural realm. What's really real, not real. And if you read the odd book and you want to come across the book I've read, it'll put you right.
Razzle.
Yes, maybe. Page 3 and 4 is the best.
That's an old one, that, isn't it? Wow, I'm showing my age now. God Lord. I bet it's still out actually. Shush.
Yeah. You've still got yours, I've seen them.
Moving on.
You have to go that extra bit, don't you?
That's it. You've got to have the laughs here when you're talking about, sometimes I'll look back on videos I've done and I feel that, my heart sinks about before I go on and rant and talk about whatever subject it is and video title, you do get prepared. And I'm not saying I'm like, me, figaro. No, it's none of that. But what I'm saying is, you do.
Don't you do that? I do.
The subject.
La 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 la.
I know, I can imagine.
Go on.
The subject is so macabre. The word is macabre and somber, and it's like I don't enjoy sometimes, what we hold and what we know. Because when I stop that video and I finish talking, I feel quite sick again, and I feel quite sad, and it is becoming more prevalent.
Because we're constantly highlighting what is. We know what is. We can see what is, and it's okay changing it for me. It's okay changing it for you. But where does that leave the rest of the poor souls? And where does that leave me and you to be able to show and teach these poor souls how to go forth once we have, because it being the private realm, it's a very difficult thing that we're trying to bring forth here and remain in honour ourselves. It's not easy to begin with, let alone bring it forth in the private realm as well.
And then you got all of YouTube telling you what you're doing is wrong and that you should be doing it a different way. I'm like, well, show me what you've done, pal, and where your remedy, maintenance, and cure is, and I'll listen to you. And then all of YouTube, but not all of them, but 99.9% say, oh, I haven't got remedy, maintenance, and cure yet, Dave. I'm like, so why am I listening to you? Why are you having a go at me? We're supposed to be in this together. We're a family and a team. So don't pull me down for things that you might say are wrong when you have no remedy, maintenance, and cure. So by that and that standing alone, we are equals. We are all equals. And those that have remedy, maintenance, and cure, you'll find us sworn to some kind of non-disclosure deal, which means if they dare talk about it, then the establishment comes and gets them and says they've been very naughty and revokes and rescinds and back to square one. So it's like, yes, we need to talk about this.
Fee schedules. Has anyone known anyone who's been paid out? Yes, I do. You, Dave?
What's that? Say that question again. I'm boiling kettle like.
Fee schedules. Has anyone known anyone who's been paid out?
Yes, I know some people that have had it honoured, yes, and paid out, yes, by private corporations. Yes, I don't know anybody that's had it by a court, but by private corporations, discharges and fee schedules paid, yes, and also by just having it paid and the case discharged and dropped. No further proceedings will be going ahead.
So there you go, that's answered that.
And also, I did say in Oxford to Brother Tom, I did say we need to be putting in a fee schedule, and he said no. But I did say the prosecution needs to have got his checkbook ready.
I
And
need a counterclaim,
yeah,
absolutely. But
and
there you go. What is it?
Lado said, yeah, that's it. But yeah, at that point, you would do so as well, or you counterclaim, yeah, which is what would be paid out, counterclaims. I've just done a post on the .com about counterclaims. Who knows about counterclaims? They're very detailed in some ways, of which I'm not going to mention here because I don't give everything
No,
away.
no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah, very detailed in them. I was quite surprised in what I found when I was researching it. Like, well, if you didn't know that, you'd really mess yourself up. It's one of them rules again. You know what I mean? It's like, well,
Absolutely.
it's not very fair.
It's got to be just right and proper, hasn't it?
It makes you sick. It makes me sick. The more I find out about this stuff, the more sick I feel inside. It used to be anger. Now it's just sickness. Mm.
Dis-ease, I'd call it, mate. Unsettled. We're upon our settlement and we are unsettled. You know, and we are seeking settlement. This is what it's all about here.
Yeah, we've been dislodged from the fabric timeline of what we should be on.
Not for long.
These poor families and all these wars and battles and decrees, Magna Cartas and constitutions, and all this time the House of alleged God, the Vatican, have been overriding with their proclamation that we're all under the Catholic doctrine and are all of the Catholic religion, and as such, they're bitches. Well, here's a public notice to the House of the fucking God, alleged God, the Vatican. I don't consider myself David of the tribe clan Jeremita, the tribunal here today, the triparts, anything to do with the Catholic religion, and I never shall be, knowingly or unknowingly. It's just, what a brass, crass, heinous thing to do to say you're all in my gang. Well, Gary Glitter had a gang, and I weren't in that either. Jimmy Savile had a gang, and I weren't in that. There's been a lot of gangs out there. The military, the Met Office are a gang. I'm certainly not part of that checkered Masonic organisation of doom on behalf of the crown. Just a joke, really is. When you look at it all, it's an absolute joke. So use YouTube as your way of putting out public notices, because once it's out there and you've decreed it and it's testamentary and all law is auricular and man is the highest, author in the realm, when it's there on video recorded, standing all of time, your last will and testament you could put on there, as we've discussed. Get it out there and say it, proclaim it. Once you proclaim it, then job's a good one. You've testified it in front of God, no less, not in front of a court. We're in a court right now. We're all being judged. Every move you make, you're being judged. I believe that. Yeah.
You better believe it. But I've only got one judge, mate, and I'll meet my maker one day. The rest that judge me, that's their business. Good luck to them. That's their opinion of me. Lovely. We shouldn't judge, mate. There's only one judge of the realm.
Yeah, some nasty spirits outside. Oh, wow. Walking around the cities, walking around Birmingham, trying to find the Bull Ring Centre, and notice people looking down at the floor, not wanting to look up. The shy ones, the anxious ones. I see the ones with 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chain, walking with a limp, 5 e-cigs, blowing out the biggest clouds, and sort of single mums and whatnot. I looked at the demographic and I was like, wow, I just feel so disconnected. There's hundreds and hundreds of people moving fast in Christmas shopping time here. And I just looked around and I thought, I don't feel connected to any one of you. I'm stood there, just looked, I just thought, just let me look at the demographic here. There were just too many. It was like I was a fish. It was like I was a stationary object with thousands of fish schooling around me of all different types and colours and, fashions and sizes and ages and demographics. And I was just like, blah, Birmingham's proper, like, it's just something different for me. on a massive scale. And I looked and I just thought, but I don't feel connected to anyone, and nobody's looking at anybody, nobody's caring. But there's hundreds of people all moving, right, and they're navigating without bumping into each other. So somebody out of all them hundreds and hundreds of men and women moving is looking, at each other because you're navigating, but yet we're not. And it's just like, wow, society is, we don't stop, we don't look, we don't chat. We've all got somewhere to be. We've all got places to go. Nobody can stop. And, it's very, if you
Well,
do speak to anybody and you are friendly, you're a weirdo. Apparently, you speak on a bus or anywhere public or in a shop in a queue, which, people look at you like, oh, God, Lord, you can't speak.
it's right there. It's right there in our auric field, and individuals are disconnected from the space around them. They're unaware. They've got the faces in these devices, or the miles away thinking about getting to work. They're
Yeah,
late, or
yeah.
whatever the case is going on. So, because individuals have that disconnection, then the next man cannot have the connection because they are disconnected themselves. It's only when the next man is looking up and having the same level of awareness as your good self in that instant will you have any level of connection with the next man. Otherwise, we're never going to get it. It's no good having a conductor there and a load of isolators or a load of isolated because they're isolated in their own little realm, and that's what disconnects them from everybody else around them as much as you would wish to connect with them. And this is what's going on here.
Oh, matron.
That's my little take on it. Anyway, did that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling.
You're doing the shuffle, mate. Elvis has got some music for that.
It's good. Walked into that one.
Yeah, lad, what time of the afternoon are we on? 23:52. Yeah, well, we'll have to go for a midnight one, and if you wish, give it another 8 minutes, and we'll do it on the OOOO. We'll say peace and love and good night to everybody as tomorrow dawns upon us. Magical numbers and all that.
Have we got anything else?
I've got loads, mate. What else is there?
Chef's in the house. Old Jamie's here. Poles of ice, serving just ice because that's
Brother Jamie is subscribed to I Have Creator as well. Bless him. Thank you. Bonjour.
MG says, hold the ice. Ice, ice, baby. No, thank you.
Just ice. Just us.
Mad Pie Man, we have many different pole ice here. Corrupt road pirates. Yes, sea people. People of the sea. Boat people. Be wary of the boat people. Mans.
Mm-hmm.
Got this. It's busy tonight. 44. We've picked up. What do you mean going offline? We've got 44. That's, can we have some thumbs up? 44, 43 of you. Can you give us a thumb up if you are entertained? You've had a little chuckle. Surely that's worthy of a thumb up and maybe a share. Thank you for interaction.
Bonjour. It's amazing. It's quite wild, ain't it, Dave? It really is.
You can go anyway. You never know where you are.
It takes me back, mate. It really is. It takes me back to think of a Friday night and whatnot.
Are we going to make these regular? Did we say we'll do these regular? Shall we say, or what?
Yeah. Well, we could do it. For the short time, couldn't we? And give an overview and like a health and a wealth type topic with a little bit of law and stuff like that in different jurisdictions all mixed in. But we can't bring a remedy as such, can we? Because Lord, hello, what are we saying here?
Mad Pie Man, no victim, no crime. Mr. Menza, no woman, no cry. Fucking brilliant. Genius.
They're at it. Hang on, I'll get my guitar out.
No, have you heard of the Everly Pregnant brothers from Sheffield, Doncaster way? And they do a parody of it, and it's no oven, no pie. It's quite funny. It is quite funny.
Thanks.
They create the scarcity, and 2 words, scare and then city. Yes, well noted.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the state, and what we need to bring ourselves back to is our inner state. Let's not worry about what they're doing a minute. Let's not look into all their realm of rules and regulations and legalese language and all that stuff. Just let's concentrate, bring it all back to ourselves. Like my nan used to say, charity begins at home. And I used to think that was cruel on these poor starving kids and Ethiopia and all that sort of stuff when I was growing up, you know. But then when you bring it back to what it really means, charity begins at home because it's used to invest in ourselves. And our greatest investment ever in our lives is in ourselves. And it's definitely the way forward, mate. And it's where it's got to be at. It starts with I. If I can't work with I can't work with you, can I? And that's the way we've got to be. For you are I, and you know what's right and proper to me is to you, and all that stuff, and it goes on from there.
I'm looking at the comments here. I've just seen something by Menza saying now have a TV reality show for next Prime Minister. Come on, Dave. Prime Minister's here, the PM, I think, but have a TV show like, as I mentioned about Clarkson, if there was an emergency situation that arose where we was all in the brown smelly stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what we'd be asking for is another secret handshaker to come and advocate for us. No, no, no. I'll do the advocating and I'll do the speaking for us, mate. How's that? I'll offer my service. I'll require no exchange, mate, and I'll give a performance. How's that for us?
Go sort it out, Sovereign Smith.
I'm sure we have the adequate verbiage and the correct application. Goodwill, clean hands, honour, boom. Got the Jolson lot, lad. Got the Jolson lot.
If man's this is the thing, we could essentially this government system, which is actually a corporation masking around as a so-called de jure government. If we just had an app, and I say an app, it would be an intricate app. It wouldn't just be like your Tinder or your whatever, Plenty of Fish or God knows what I used to use back in the day, even if they still exist. But yeah, it'd be very in depth, and it'd just be like, you know, where you've got A, B, C, D, and you just get a series of questions for 10 minutes, and it'd be like, right, we've got this much money, and this needs doing, that needs doing, this needs doing. Which one do you think? And you just have to spend some time, you know, like you spend 3 hours a week, maybe, yeah, I wish, 3 hours a day on Facebook, doing and pressing buttons that are just nothing and getting you nowhere, and just self-gratification in a way, I'd argue, you know, for the neurological responses of the likes and the shares and the fuckery that's going off. So we could just say for the 3 hours that you're a day on Facebook or online, if you're gambling or playing online games or just some kind of gratification in some way that is non-productive, and we average a day of 3 hours, say, on that time, for 10 minutes out of them 3 hours, you'd have to pick up that app or log on and select your choices for the day. And that's you being cognitive, self-governing and functioning and getting rid of these shizens. And just for, if somebody said, we can save the country. If Andy and I come up with this with G-Star and said, right, we've worked it out, and all these government factions and ministers and cabinets and shadow ministers and fuckeries and Europeans and blah, blah, blahs and lords, and you get me, fam, and all what they do in their expenses and their mansions and the fuckery and all of that shit that they do, yeah, and Finchley Road and all of it, I'm talking it all, and we summed it up and we said, right, it works out at X amount of pounds, we'll call that X amount a shitload. And we say, so we get rid of that, and in place, G-Star's made this. This isn't an option here. I'm hypothetically putting it out there. And we say, so we've got X amount shitload to be saved, which will get us out of just about every problem we've got and have some left over, or we continue as we are. Now, for that 10 minutes of the day, and to substitute that, to save that money, to get that, you know, wow, this is as simple as I see it. And it sounds bizarre, but it takes a radical things for people to think to get that shit out of there, because the system we have is working for the elite. It's robbing the poor. It's basically the opposite of Robin Hood in the legal commercial realm that we're under. They've turned Robin Hood and made the opposite of him in a legal commercial realm, and we need to get that other mentality back somehow and get rid of this shit, because it's not working at all.
It's all about the central banking system. Look what they've done to Gaddafi and Saddam and going back through the years, ultimately, everybody, that's what it's all about there, that very thing. And if you're going to overtake anything like that, mate, we're to bring either trade levy and barter or then something with an intrinsic value. Because it's no good overruling them and thinking, well, we've got all this trillion, zillion squids of pounds of what? Carrots, potatoes, peas, because none of it's worth anything. We don't want them bits of paper that they've got. That's what the trouble is here. That's what we're enslaved to. We don't carry chains and padlocks. We carry debt, and it's that paper debt that's got us all nailed to the floor. And it's that which we've got to get rid of. We've got to be in it for one another. And something of an intrinsic value, something that's really worth something, other than just a belief. That's all the fiat system is. It's a belief system.
Yeah, so it wouldn't happen overnight, just FYI. And yeah, we need to look at the transitional period between this current fiat fuckery system, which is perpetual debt glorified into basically it's an IOU that we are administering around. It's come from the realms of IOUs, the promissory note. And the promissory note is under the bankruptcy and gold insolvency. So once we establish that and we realize that there is no motherfucking debt and what they're saying is a load of crap, and what we're doing is creating credit at the time of the bank and the mortgage and the loans and so forth, which is not money, it is credit.
Which is
And when
then
you look at
sold
that,
on, yes.
yeah, and Andy said intrinsic value. So we've talked about trust being the only currency of man. So we're pretty much on the top of the cutting edge of all of the monetary values, realms, and things like that. But we need a transitional period. We accept that money can be used for good and it's not evil. Like another thing with Jesus died for our sins and Jesus died for our debts. Money is the root of all evil. Misquotation from the books and the chapters and the gospels and the verses. No, money is not the root of all evil. It clearly says the pursuit of money is the root of all evil. And I've
It's the
gone from
pursuit
thinking,
of it, that's correct.
yeah,
It's
I've
the
been gone from
greed of
thinking
it.
that money is evil and it's wrong and you shouldn't
No.
have it and it's got the eye, but it can be used for good and we can collect it up and make others' lives better, as we've seen by the testamentary things on the .com, on these hangouts and on the Facebook. It is working and it can be used for good. So for that reason, money is not bad. It's the ones that hoard it and do what they do and deceive us with it. If we all had our fair amount of it and we all had an equal amount and it was spread about and proportioned well, we'd all be all right. So if it was all right, nobody'd have a bad opinion of money, would they? So therefore, ergo, it wouldn't be bad. It's just the fact that we get these locked cabinets where some of us can go to that cabinet and we've got a key and we can get the medicine, we can get the food, we can get the car, we can get anything we want out of that cupboard, the magic cupboard, because we've got the key. But there's others that go to that cupboard and they haven't got a key and they won't ever get that key and they'll probably end up, in a bad way and, a burden to society. But because there are certain barriers in their lives, the state and other factions and agents say, no, you can't have a key. You're clearly incapable of holding a key. We'll hold the key for you. And what they really mean is we're quite happy with your estate and we're going to manage it as far as we can see. There's a clear way of plundering this and you've no way of getting out of it. So we're going to continue and you're going to suck it up. And that's what we do. We suck it up and they continue. And the sucking up has stopped, hasn't it, brother? We're spitting it back at them. Gruel, have it fucking back. Sorry, I'm really on it tonight.
Have it.
Yeah, well, rightly so. Man's burning, man's suffering, man's starving. I, for one, am pissed off, and I know you are, but I'm not saying you get like I am, but I'm really I know I've had enough. Seen enough, I've heard enough, we've done enough. We're not repeating ourselves year on, year out. Do you know how frustrating it is? Yes, you do, Andy, to get asked the same question about parking fines, council tax, trusts, and this, that, the other, and repeating it for 2 years solidly. You feel like you're going insane. At a point, you just have to say enough. That's it now. We know where we are. We know what we're doing. All the things are out there for you. Just like the Georgia Guidestones, slapping you in the face, testing your competence, just so, if you didn't know, now you know. It's like, what? This isn't real. This realm isn't real.
Don't
Can't
tell
be.
me I didn't tell you.
Donald Trump's really in charge of the most powerful nation on earth and the army and everything, and he looks like a buffoon. He's a business buffoon.
No.
Wow.
Anglo landmass, mate. This is the most powerful land on the realm. It all happens here, London. Let me tell you, London.
Yeah, the banking system. London's got the
Yeah,
banking system.
let me
America's got
tell
the
you.
army, and the Vatican's got the
Yeah,
mouthpiece,
yeah, and
got the whip.
it all comes from here, mate. Let me tell you that. And it all leads back to Rome. But it's all that triage right there. But that's where it's at, mate. Where's all the gold? It's here. Is it ours? No. You go to that square mile jurisdiction. It's there. None of it belongs to the monarch. Eh? It all belongs to the bankers, my old pal.
It's just, I know. And then they do like Game of Thrones, and people think it's fiction. It's like, is it fuck fiction? It's actual reality. This shit's going down, and you
No,
lot are loving
mate.
it.
The UK is living under the Fourth Reich. It's as simple as that. Under a martial law.
I've mentioned the Liber Code and the Unidroit. I've put them on the .com, I think, as well. They're important to look at, things that have gone off. And this Paris Agreement, and what I found out about that, it doesn't just contain environmental things. They've snuck in other things, if what I read was right. Mitigation is amongst the areas in there as well. I'm like, what? Okay. I'm not fully up with this because I'm tired and weak and, out of Christmas.
Weakened the weekend.
Well, yeah, that's the one. I've only done 3 days. I didn't even know. I thought it was Monday. On Wednesday, I was like, well, I'm off to a good start, aren't I? Why the hell did I decide to go back in? Self-employed, like, could have just gone back this week coming up.
Me
But
too. I'm
foolish me.
self-employed too, brother, but I was in between Christmas and New Year as well. I haven't had a break, so I'm due one soon. I may well take one. I'm deserved of one, and I need a week or two break to recoup myself and get myself straight. As you can hear, I've got a bit of a wheezy chest, and at the moment I've been smoking myself into oblivion, and it's time to have a little sort out of myself.
Fix up, look sharp. Yeah, man.
You know the one,
Always
mate.
good.
So, if they taught us how to manage our trusts at school, we would know, but they can't have that, or they'd be the skint. That's right, they would be the skint. You know, the economy wouldn't be as it is. Man wouldn't be grinding himself to the bone to put bloody shoes on his children's feet to send them to their indoctrination camp. Oh, they've got it worked out right, okay.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
not
okay.
all of the MPs and lords and the government know about this secret quasi trust. We'll call it quasi. Thatcher again. I'll reference her again in the 80s. These quasi trusts. This is coming from my mum, not just me, because I was talking to her about quasi. What does she know about quasi? Because that come from Romley, from that third document that we've released, and the WordPress site where I found the servant master slave principle trust governance. I was like, I've just written a document about trust and governance and so forth, and the Franciscan friars and the three crowns and the bull papals and the attorney regis, and then I go and find that after I've written that, and it was just like it was meant to come at that time, and it was the perfect extra little bit for information and cognizance for the key competence of what we're doing. And nobody is really trained, right? I'm telling you, in all of this infrastructure, because knowledge of the other system would be fraud and deceit. So if you had all these government, right, including the TV and the DVLA, not just the HMRC and the HM collections revenue, government ministers, lords, you know how it's going here with the money and the crossovers and the bonds and the accounts and the courts and everything. Yeah, because if they all actually knew, they'd all be committing mass amounts of real, actual, damning criminal acts rather than legal. Legal, as we know, and criminal are two different realms. So the legal issues are all like I'll reference the Manslaughter Act, the Cancer Act, the Sexes Act, where they said, okay, women can be lawyers and that. And the first woman to get to this building, and that's what they did. They had a race, and decided that the women could go into the legal profession. I've looked into quite a lot of the acts and the legal realms, and it's bullshit. It's bad for you. It means nothing, and this is what they do. They're not trained. They don't know. Even the officers, as daft as it sounds, they don't know. They actually don't. Some of them might do if they've done a bit of long time service and they've listened a bit and they've gone around with some of the older blokes and they've had some night lock-ins or whatever they do in these inner circles. But yeah, only a few know. The side, up in the
Legal is
chain.
the undoing of natural law. It's as simple as that, mate. Legal, it is what it is, mate. It's just undoing natural, proper law, and they've misinterpreted it with their jurisprudence, which is a theory, and they've imposed their theory and force of law upon us.
Yeah, and these other laws that we found out about, I didn't actually we accidentally found out about them, but they're just fantastic. They really are. Zero energy, the vortex mathematics, the law of attraction, the power of intent, the synchronicity, yeah, faith in itself, getting a disbanding religion, disbanding politics, stepping out on your own, standing tall, representing correctly, not
Brother
accepting
Smith, bring in the faith.
Mhm.
You gotta love it, ain't you, brother?
We do love it. That's why we're here. Otherwise, I'd be crashed out with our lasso playing on a computer game or mindlessly sniffing Colombian marching powder whilst drinking copious amounts of beer with chasers and spending hundreds of pounds on a weekend of which I don't have, and losing things and probably getting into a fight and then calling it a day, probably booking a IB for weekender and spending grands on that, and oh my days. So I'm ashamed of what I've done in my past. I really am, but at least we're here now and doing something good.
It's all a part of being young, mate. You had no malice, you had no ill will, you caused no one no harm,
I was
you know?
angry. I was pissed off. I had to get out for a bit. I had enough of England and its grey weather and the denial of my assets to me. And I thought I need to get out. This country's got nothing for me. The weather's pissing me off. The jobs are all factories and telephone things. Can't get anywhere that I seem to want to get anywhere. I don't really like any of the cities, and where I've been and that. I travelled about enough. I thought I need some sun. I need to go and say hello to the Ra, the Mediterranean. See my mum, so I did. And I went out DJing as well, yeah, and skipping about and enjoying it. Yeah, it's amazing when you go out there. These European and Mediterranean countries, when you speak to them, they're all interested straight away. They sit down. I've had quite a few times where I've just been chatting to one or two, and then others have joined along and chipped in, and other English have come along, or then there's like some Latvians, Estonians, Polish, Slovakians. Greeks, Italian, whatever, wherever you are, and they just like come across and they really got some input and they're not so skeptical and they're more open about it. Do you know why? Because they've been bummed harder than we have. We've got it easy, with your exchanging of your car every 2 years and, moving up your houses and your acquisition of your assets and your savings. And you think, you're free when really you're not free. You're just feeding a perpetual system that's sucking the life out of you. And you're one pay slip away from being, in the shit. That's what you call your freedom and happiness. When so be it, enjoy it.
If you have anything on HP or anything of the sort, you're only ever 3 payments away from losing it. It's as simple as that, mate. They've got
Correct.
the system set up for themselves, and they'll come and soon sweep that property into their
Default,
little collection bag. No
default.
problem, so now's the time. You've got to act correctly. You've got to know how to act and what to say and when to say it and when to say nothing. It's just all a game to them, It's just all business. It's nothing personal. So once we realise that and take that on board, as they would say,
No decent man would ever get up every day of his life and think, today I'm going to go and do my bailiff job or my debt collector job, because I've considered the jobs when I've been unemployed. I just wanted to add this as well. And I want you to just think about the type of man or woman that would get up every day knowingly to earn a crust and go out and do that job in line of all of the horridness that it entails. When you see these guys out there, they come from a certain background, I would say, mentally. And, to do that job, I don't know how they sleep at night. Those of you that are listening, if you got consciences, which I believe all of you have, then you wouldn't be able to do that, would you? These jobs that are out there that afflict your fellow man, we should stop doing them. You should say, actually, no, that job's just wrong. I'm not doing that. I'll do it, and it doesn't matter how desperate you are. These, it's like order followers. We all know about order followers. God Lord. It's them that get us into the shit.
See, John Middleton has just put a lovely little catch on there. But think about if all part of capital interest. See, the capital that we speak of, the London and Rome and Washington and these things, and we have our capitals in our names, and then we're interest to the state, and all this capitalisation and stuff like this, and capital cities and all this. It's just all tied in together. It's all there right in front of us. None of it's to do with us. We don't have capitals. We don't have capital alphabet. We don't have capital cities. We don't have boundaries.
Capitalism. We have
Yeah,
capitalism.
exactly.
Ism.
Another ism.
Mm.
What a perpetual state to be in, of capitalism.
Same as fascism,
Well,
Nazism,
we're right in the middle of capitalism, right as we speak. This is what
communism.
it's bringing to us exactly.
Mm.
So we could go on forever. We could really go on forever.
I could. Give me some sugar. Give me another pint of lemonade, and I'm off for another hour.
That's what I need, some more brown sugar in my coffee, baby. I'm just contemplating whether to pop myself into the kitchen and go and do one. I didn't know how long we were stopping on for. I don't know how many we've got listening or what. I don't wish to be rude or anything. Bloody hell, we've got 45 watching. Peace and love, boom. I might even put my camera on.
Well, I'm in garden me again. I'm just having another zigzag.
I'm going to put my camera on, mate.
You show me a boat race. Speaking of boat people, here comes a boat race. Come on, then.
Well, they've been watching us all this time and whatnot, and they've got nothing to see even. They can take the piss out of me, can't they? Oh, bugger, here we go. Here we go. Are we on?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, pond your peace and love. Here we go, look, mate.
My mince pies can see your boat race.
Yeah, Sam, we're in. Here's something to all talk about, mate. What's the matter with that? We're in. There we go.
Have you got some mould in your top corner?
Do you think so?
It's a bit dark up there.
It's the corner of it's a floating shelf, look. There's no brackets or nothing. It's so just.
Hey, was that an orb? What?
I've used some skyhooks.
Nice to see you nice. I'll get it in before anyone else does.
Let's pull that round here a little piece. Put over a little bit, please. Let's look. It's pulling the phone off the chair. The charger is there. You go. Because my charger's going flat lock.
Get it in sweet spot, Smithy. Come on, get it in sweet spot.
Yeah, we're in, mate. I'm ready to go. I can see the chat room and.
Your moustache, your nose is just above my fist, though. The camera needs pointing down a bit, and then it'll be in a better place. We can just see half of your head.
He's about to give me a left hook.
Yeah, no, you pointed it up, point it down a bit. That's it, that way. Keep going.
Can you? Mate. I don't give a shit, mate.
It's all right. Now keep it there. Your head's on my chin. Your chin's on my fist.
You like that, do you, mate?
Look at that. That's actually funny. Somebody take a screenshot of that, please.
No, too late. So your request has been denied. How's that for you?
That's Fandabidozy. Going back to Crankies. Fandabidozy.
You can just see me pecs, lad. I heard Mark Devlin was going to do some digging on the Dave Gilmore connection. The birds have it. Yeah, man, I've grew myself a bit of a chin fringe. It's a bit parky out there on the back of the lorry first thing in the morning in winter, so get myself a bit of facial hair around there, and I hate shaving, but it's like putting diesel in my van.
He's just been lazy. Don't lie, he's just
being
lazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like putting diesel in my van. It's a chore. I hate shaving. It's a chore. So what is what is.
Have you ever seen that? I've got a question, or a totally different question about another subject. Have you ever seen a man called Dell on YouTube that chats in a shed? He's Scottish and he's big. He's a big lad. He's Scottish. He chats about flat Earth in a shed.
No, it doesn't ring true to me, no.
Oh, that's just my question, then. That's all right. Doesn't matter, then I won't mention it. But for everybody else, if you subscribe to a channel called Russian Vids has done a video about Dell in a shed for the benefit of all and you. And he's just saying a few things like, and I was just wondering, if you'd ever chatted to him, because I did send him a message once saying, can we have a hangout or whatever? I like your style and the way you chat, and we've got a lot to say. You've got a lot to say. Let's get together.
and I don't think he ever messaged back. But I'm kind of glad he didn't. If what's being said is I just thought it's better out of it. But just funny stuff. That's all. Just funny stuff.
Well, you know what I'm like with my dry humour, mate. Sometimes people either love it or hate it. I'm like Marmite, aren't I? I can't help it. I've tried to change, but I just can't. So what I am is what I am. Someone will come along and love me for it one day. Is that copper or gold bracelet, Andy? I've noticed a lot of people wear copper bracelets. Anyone know why? Dave, do you want to ask Alan of the family riches? Do you want to tell the brother why the advantages of copper, like colloidal copper, and it's
Oh, what
our
have you got?
helmets,
What's he on
arthritis.
about? What's he on about? As you see, who's got? What have
Like
you
a
got?
bracelet.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a copper bracelet, and underneath it's got a row of magnets all the way around it. And of course, the magnets are to help our blood and our cells. And obviously, because we're a magnetic system ourselves and electronic, and all the rest of it comes with it. I do believe that our blood runs through the vein like all different directions. Imagine, up, down, line down. But as they come through and pass through the magnet, it stands them all up, so they all come through uniform, and you'll get a better circulation, you'll get a better, flow rate. So it stops you having high blood pressure and all these types
He
of
just
things.
he does
So
that. I'm just trying to think. Autumn. All I can hear is Santos going, "All is autumn." Shut up, Santos, a minute. All is autumn. Yes, I know it's autumn, and then it comes to me. This red blood cell is comparable, and all um, tiny what are they? Microscopic cells, organisms, electrical charge, as you said with the brain and that
atomic,
earlier. Yeah, is toroidal. The Tellinger, Michael Tellinger, and Nikola Tesla, and the subsequent that vortex maths that's come out with includes the 369, the shaping of the bouncing of the two flows of the electrons in the sequence is key. And yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. The universe is it can only be logically um, magneto electro, yeah,
of course,
electromagnetic. We are
of
one or the
course.
other, and
And
space
that's
is
how the
one.
merchants
Mm.
used to navigate the high seas back in the day, through the magnetic pull of the realm and following the navigation of the stars because they were stationary. And the magnetic pull of the earth creates the tides in and out. And when you look at the old time mariners back in the day, they would have all their maps laid out on their desks in the wheelhouse, and they would, like the old fishermen and stuff, and they would map out where there was 10 years ago and 20 years ago, and their forefathers. And this is what, and it says in my book, The Terra Firma, and all this glow ball stuff is just exactly that. I don't know if you can see this in my camera. There you go. It's another one of these type of style bracelets, and I was just showing you the inside of it. You can see the magnets in there.
Where did you get that from, brother?
Um, Shona bought me these for Christmas.
Oh, I
So
see.
at first there was kind of painful reminders that we've, separated, but now they've just, happy memories and grateful that I've got them and had the time with her, and I've got these gifts to remind me, and I have the health benefits from them as well. So I was wearing this black one on this arm. It's just like a watch strap basically, but it
Yeah.
fits really comfortable too. But then she bought me this one afterwards. It come late. She ordered them both at the same time, or I can't remember. But I just like this one, so they're ace. I've wanted one for a little while. I mentioned it to her that I was going to get myself one, and she just bought me one. So there you go. I
So,
say bought me one. She bought me two. She bought me both of them.
all right, lad. Yeah, I want to get some. I used to have a magnetic bracelet, but it was on one of them elastic band things, and it just stretch over time, and then they snap, and yeah, it was just rubbish. It wasn't manly enough. I needed a more manly one. It was just from a Chinese man in the middle of a Derby market that got it from a couple of quid. It was all right at the time. They're strong magnets, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought I need a better,
I
robust
do
one.
have a heart condition. I've been diagnosed with it. I've had one of those things in my wrist, and they send it and check your arteries and all that. My arteries are okay, but they can't guarantee the muscle itself, and it doesn't recover correctly after stress. So I have like an offbeat and stuff like that, and
Well, after yeah,
it takes me
I
longer
got
to
you.
recover after exercise, and with my COPD as well, I just have to watch what I'm doing. So And with me being stressed out lately, and I'm smoking more than ever, and I've been hiding in myself, fucking crying, and not. But that's all done and dusted now. So what is, and it's back
That's
to
it. That's the
return to sort
motions.
my own health out. Yeah, all the
Go through
emotion's
the
still there,
motion.
mate, but it's just inside, not outside.
Go through the motions. That's it.
Hmm.
That's what life's about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lessons
well,
learned. That's it, brother. All
you
good.
miss these when you love someone and you're not with them anymore. You miss them. It's only natural. I'm only a man. Christ, my knowledge doesn't stop me missing anybody or loving someone or doing these things in life. Just because we've got the answers or the remedy of the realm or whatever, or I'm spiritual or I'm heart resonance or whatever you may call me.
Mm,
I still have my own troubles and my own life's ups and downs and woes, and
that's it.
I've
Yep.
been likened to a bloody guru and all sorts. I'm nothing of the sort. I'm just a plain individual man that lives next door and getting on with my own little bit of thing, and I've just studied
No,
the
but
a little piece in the Bible and stuff.
no, but in a realm of YouTube where there's channels out there spouting out anything to get subscribers and hits and fame or whatever it is and a following or some people in a room at whatever amount and so forth. There are ones out there trying to monetize and they are somewhat funded to deceive you and lead you down the wrong path and get you to cause damages and things that you wouldn't think would be possible. But yeah, it's something where you come out and you give away helpful, useful, simple, cognizable, understandable, for even better word. Yeah, it is understandable. We're not in a court, and and man appreciates that. Where after all these years and times and rabbit holes, you just think, oh, I can't be asked. I'll just pay them. I'll just pay them. It's easier, because you hear all these promises and so forth and stories, and when you actually get there it's not what it says, or the people that you want to get to want to, they can't get in touch with them, or you do get in touch with them, but then they don't get back to you. And it's like, it's such long winded and hard work that, after a bit, you just, what's happened here? My screen's gone. Are you there,
Oh,
Andy?
yeah, I've still got you, brother.
My phone's gone weird. Yeah, after a bit, they're just grateful for some kind of help or some kind of, forward motion.
Hmm. Absolutely, mate.
And that's it. And it's not too, yeah, my
And
phone's gone
well,
weird.
when it comes down to it, mate, when it comes down to the last dance, the last post, or the last song, whatever, it's all down to us. It's down to each individual self. We give all this information and all this stuff out, but it's only down to the individual to stand on it and work it. And it's with any realm, whether you're at work or whether you're in home or whether you're out shopping or whether whatever you're doing, it's always down to us. So relying on
Yeah,
others for templates or remedies or anything else is masquerading your own inefficiencies and your own insecurities. And it's time that man stood up for the responsibility of these and took charge and grabbed the bull by the horns, as they say, and give it a bloody good shake and see what go on here. And that's
there's
when you're
that
going to
bull
get a
again.
remedy. And you're not going to get a
There's that
remedy
bull.
until that time.
Grabbing the bull by the horns. I've learned in such stories as the Battle of the Epic of Gilgamesh, and going back to go to YouTube. That is go to WOOWK Media and look at the 2018 ending video. That's 3 hours and 45 minutes long. It's an ultimate, massive, epic, incredible video, and there's a lot of information there by the bull and the horns and the Bibles and the
It's the
zodiac and the
Taurus
Baal.
field, the bull, isn't it? Yeah,
There
it's
and there, and there
all
you
our own
go.
Taurus fields. It's there, mate.
Taurus, it's yeah, and it says in there that the Spanish, when you have and that's where I'm getting this from. Like, I don't just come out with random bits of information. It does all come from somewhere, and it's not nothing new under the sun here. The Spanish, when they have the matador and the bull fight, when the matador stabs the bull, it stabs it in a certain part of the Taurus of the Taurus body. What's that then that we have here? It's called our what? Our on the body we have a what? Is it a tor? A tor something we have on the body?
Torso.
There we go. Thank you for that. That's the one. I wanted
In
someone
your
to
torso, it is your actual body.
Taurus torso,
No
yeah,
belly
and you've
button up
got
to your
that.
neck, your
And
torso.
they stab the bull in the torso, and then that's like these epic stories of Enki and the DNA and the mixing up and the father and the cleansing and the floods and these Anunnaki coming and grabbing the bull by the horns was an ancient depiction of the DNA control lineage from the Anunnaki and who and whatever was here and the Baal worshippers and the Baal worshippers is the ones with the devil of, and I may have gotten this wrong, so
Mm-hmm.
don't quote me on any of this. I've only just watched it a couple of days ago. I need to watch it a good couple more times before I'm fluent with it and research what they're saying if it's not already, something I'm aware of. But yeah, that video on OOWK Media on YouTube. 3 hours 45, I'm sure, and it's got all that in, and that's just interesting. Like the language we use there, like I can't afford to pay attention. I can't afford to fly off the handle. These are like jokes that I make that are like, and I'm grabbing the bull by the horns. It's in there, and it's in there for a reason. It's nothing's coincidental, and it's not because it sounds great or because it fits nicely. Like the
Mm-hmm.
style of everything we've learned and seen, it's fascinating.
Afford, what a word, afford. I can't afford you, my mood. And
We
and
afford liability.
and
Yeah,
and
we
that and
afford.
that's the right way to do it. You see, I can't
Mm,
afford you, or I shall not furnish you. That's what that means. But it's an old time way of spaketh. It's how they spake.
mm.
I cannot afford you because the damages afterwards
I
may be too
respectfully
great.
decline. I
That's what it
respectfully
is.
decline. There
That's
we
what it
go.
is. You
Your
see,
offer.
that's how they spake, and that's why I
Yes.
get my verbiage like I do, and everyone back in the day, like Andy, you speak differently to everybody else. Yes, because my verbiage comes from the book. And when you bring things like this to the forefront, look, it's no problem for me because it's all in the book. It's ace,
And
mate. I love it.
grandmas.
Yeah,
And grandmas as
and
well. My
and
grandma.
being brought up by me nan, yes.
Yeah, grandmas are a wise old soul. They are indeed. They know about monies and
Mm-hmm.
wars and fractionalization of pounds
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And,
Decimalisation, that's right.
there it is. That's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to discover. That's what I mean. It's happened before and it will happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We need this, I don't know, some independence of some kind that isn't subject to submittal, if that's not too much to ask. A universal non-sectarian remedy. If anybody says you're terrorist, no, we're not. We're just after a universal non-sectarian remedy for all. That's not terrorism. You've bonded us, motherfucker. You're the terrorist. Let me tell you. Yeah.
Yes. It's not me committing personage and barratry, is it now?
Anybody out there? There's
It's not
that.
me subjugating. I'm not obfuscating. I'm not subjugating. Man doeth no wrong. Prove to me otherwise.
Impersonating. If you're dressed and operating as an officer and you are then not following the law, then you're impersonating a bloody officer because you're not following what should be followed, amongst others. Harassment, trespass. If you disrespect somebody's rights, you're disrespecting somebody's property. If you disrespect my property, you are the terrorist. That's how we turn it around. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
continue? Let's dance.
Mm-hmm. How do, folks? Gumshoe Sleuth. Good evening, Craig. How are you, brother? Peace and love to you. This is his time of the night. He's a night owl only. He just dropped in the chat now, Dave.
Just that's an orange, sorry. Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Join the doctors, our friend David. I would say it's all.
Hello, Gumshoe. Good evening, brother.
Yeah, man.
You say you joined.
So the governing of the mental health. Do you know, I done a skip a few months back, and I got to this place. It's like a load of little bungalows, but they're all behind green fencing. The green fencing's about 12 foot high, a little bit like prison fencing, but not quite so securitized. And there's no barbed wire. And I'm thinking, well, it's all a little bit strange. So I go and changes the skip, and I'm speaking to the old caretaker boy out there, and I said, it's called a little institution called NHS Brooklands over there in Solihull in the Midlands. And I says to him, what is this place? It doesn't look like where you come for an operation or what for a broken leg. What's all the security fencing? And he said, this is for high risk prisoners. This is category A prisoners. So then you just clicked a couple of buttons in my mind. I'm thinking, well, The NHS is absolutely struggling its arse off. Old Doris's can't get hip operations, or you can't get any sort of a transplant or major operations or heart operations or anything else. However, they are spilling millions each year to keep the likes of Fred West and Ian Huntleys and all these types of individuals in these nut clinics, habitually um, liquid jab, shall we say, liquid coshed. You know, they've kept under some sort of sedation 24/7, and you know, they're getting paid thousands and thousands per week for the privilege right from their very bonds, you know. And next man on the street who genuinely requires the NHS can't get any help, you know.
Stuff we're hearing time and time again. It's yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. I'm just reading the chat room and seeing what's happening here. Big Pharma rules NHS. Men's is saying it's true. Yeah, that's how it is.
Well, each and
Got no
every
benefit.
doctor and every surgeon and every nutrition and every other everything that they call themselves within that general army, they're all sworn oath of allegiance to the pharmaceuticals anyway because they have to sell their product. That's what it is. That's what the agenda is there. They can't tell you what a cure is outside in the real world. They'll tell you a homeopathic doctor or anybody like that are absolutely nutters. So they can only sell a certain agenda. That's what they're paid to do. And if they tell you anything outside of that, well, they're in for it. So, and if you want to look into pharma, go see what it means. You know, it's poison. If you wish to take them type of poisons and ingest them into yourself, that's up to you. Everyone each to their own, but not for me, thank you. You know, it's a military campus. You put into wards, you're a ward of the state, and you're there voluntary. You know, so they can do what they wish to you. All these treatments that they pump into your nerve agents and other chemicals and metals and goodness knows what bovine and embryo cells and
Yeah.
you know, come on, and that's just for the flu. No, thank you. That's all as I say. I respectfully decline.
Medieval sin. That's all I can say. Medieval.
I'm not on any register. I'm not on any
Medi-
medical register. I'm not on any practicing surgery, and I don't want anybody practicing on me. Thank you. If you can do the job, do it. I don't want anybody practicing putting the clutch in my car. I want it done. You know.
Yes,
So I'm not a part of that. I'm not registered on a government agency anywhere. I've received no benefit. I've received no exchange. It's ace.
Oh, I won't be able to find it. I'd have to do a word search. But in one of these, I've written about the Medici and the families and the controlling factions of the Mediterranean and the subsequent trusts and the Jesuits and the cardinals and so forth and the Medici, MEDCI, which is Italian Mediterranean CI makes chi, so it's Medici, and this family is interested, but Medici medicine is very well connected to these, I believe, if I'm remembering it right. And yeah, it's a control mechanism because they used to give colloidal silver water to hospital patients that had various infections, and it was an intravenous introduction with
And cannabis oil. They used
so
to give
many
all sorts, mate.
so many grams, yeah, and they worked out, they worked out so many things, and just it bewilders, man. Like in China, you didn't. I don't think it's this way now because of the
Mm-mm.
point system. But before, when you saw a doctor, if he didn't cure you, you didn't pay him. Bosh, that's a good agreement. Here, pal, sort me out or no
Yeah.
money.
Mr. Menza saying big pharma problem reaction solution. All as they will do, they will give you maintenance. They will maintain a symptom. They will not cure what is curing the symptom because that's not how you make money.
And no, Tom, that doesn't make you bad. That makes you an angel, and it makes you complete opposite. Yeah, mad pie, man. If we have elderly suffering, waiting for elective surgery under our health system, they're suffering. That's because they're elderly and they're victims and they're easy targets, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
they've got, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they may be
And the
isolated,
and
may
the
not have
part
the
of the culling
faculty.
agenda that's going down right now. Oh, you better believe it because there's money in death. There's money in the bond in death. Simple as that, mate. And you know that the the state claim their estate. It's already claimed it anyway. It's in probate, isn't it? If no one steps forth and does the right notion, that the quid's in every time. You see these programs in the morning, you know, and people haven't stepped forth, and you know this person who had died and they got this estate worth this much. People are making loads of money left, right, and centre in death. It's awful.
A corporate body. I'm remembering through reading through all this stuff again. I've printed it off. I've got a pamphlet and everything. I'm really going through it and reading it again and checking it. It's like amazing how many times you can proofread something and then find a mistake straight away. But a corporate body is the property of a trust, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, you do need to research and check all this out. This is not legal advice, and I believe when I was looking at body corporates, a body corporate isn't just a body corporate. It's called a body corporate because it's connected to a trust. Like all trusts have certain things and property wise.
Corporation, that's right.
So I'm like, okay, then yes, it's just interesting. Somebody wrote down corporate bodies. I think it was Chef Jamie. Corporate capitalism, corporate bodies have no life. Humans are monsters, can't harm fiction. Hence why it goes on. Yeah, well said. It's insane. But that there is how the system then says claims that they've got clean hands and are in honor because of all this crap going off. They're like, well, we're just the administrators. It's up to you to, you know. And if you try to speak up and you don't do it right, it's like, you know, you get labeled a madman, but it is actually correct. This system is really there. The matrix does exist. Yes, and that's why, you know, why we have this problem.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
Continuation.
and I shall see, mate. You know, it's you must have the belief in that. So, right then, brother, I'm tired. I'm going to call it an evening.
Go. Yeah, I'm the same. Thank you. Ciao, bello.
I've been up since early, mate. I've attended the wheel today and given my full application and love and everything that's required. And it saps a man, you know, it's a killing machine, ain't it? So, and it's late now. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. Well, yesterday morning, should I say? We're into tomorrow now, aren't we? Yes. Oh Lord, it's 20 to 1 in the morning.
Let's go.
And how many? And we've still got how many? Blessed soul, 39 blessed souls watching. That's just how bizarre, Dave. I feel rude and a bit of a letdown, go a bit of a party pooper. Lordy, Lord, I didn't realise it's that time of the morning. I didn't realise there's that many watching or anything. It's just ace, ain't it, mate? We are loved, and it's apparent to see. I didn't realise we were quite so magnetic, shall we say?
Yeah, indeed, it is. I'm tired and my eyes are heavy, so I want to go and turn in as well. Peace and love to
Absolutely.
you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you,
Catherine.
mate. Thank you, chat room. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, fam. One love,
Positive
unity.
ignorance by
Keep it
design.
real. Okay, Dave.
Comments. Thank you, brother. Yeah, peace and love. We'll speak soon. Let's get out of here. Good
Well, I'll
night.
stop. I'll stop in the hangout if you wish, while you just detube the tube. Thank you, everybody.
They're just saying thank you and good night. Just seeing if we've missed anything. Question wise, nice to see you guys from Tom. We've read that. Join the dots, as our friend David Icke would say, it's all connected. Yes, Angela. Shoe saying I'll do. Alan, I think she should concentrate on homeless rather than asylum seekers. What's this? Albert heard there was going to be one in Manchester. No mention of Hopkins. Anyone see Katie Hopkins promoting a yellow vest meeting tomorrow? Oh dear, really? It's over this way. See, protesting. What are they doing? We must thank them for cheaper fuel. Oh dear, it starts. Look, see, in
Yeah, it doesn't
between.
sound good, mate. I don't advocate any of that. Please stop in home. Stay warm. It's cold outside. The last thing you need is CS spray in your face and a baton over the ear hole and some fines and forfeitures and levers against your property if you don't fall for their bloody legal nonsense. So please, no yellow vesting, no shouting in the streets, no for testing. It's not the way forward. The pen is mightier than the sword. Get a red ink pen and write down what's wrong and make a claim on a piece of paper.
Looks like Dell's made a return video. He's taught RV a new one, says MG. Oh wow, Tom saying go check out Dell's response he did tonight. I do like a bit of entertainment and a little bit of politics, but I don't like to be involved in it, not unless I
I'm not sure
choose
what
to
all
be.
that means. I don't know who them
It's
individuals
just
are, Dave.
YouTube stuff. It's flat Earth YouTube stuff that's hilarious. It
Oh,
really
okay.
is.
Okay.
It's just politics that man has a way, man has a right to speak, man has a right to an opinion. Man is not responsible for how others interpret your right to speak in your opinion, and what they do with it is down to them. That's my disclaimer. But it's just interesting how others go about it, or if others want attention, or if they
Yeah.
interpret something differently, or if somebody comes on and says Satan is good, and that joining Satan, or not so much Satan, but putting a red mask on. And when you've got, like we say, proof of claim and evidence, you find the evidence and you look at it, you weigh it up, you make your decision. So YouTube's fantastic for that, because on a video you put it out there and others can see it and rewind it and take it, like the ghost thing in that other video. And yeah, it's up for debate, but man makes mistakes, fair play. But when you are vexatious, malicious, you are critical, you are judgmental, and you are, maybe, if you haven't got the right elements to be a judge, because no man has the right to judge, you'll get pulled up on it, won't you?
Mm-hmm.
You will indeed. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. It's just, I just noticed it. If there are ones out there that aren't honourable, we have the right to talk about them and expose them. If there are ones out there that are honourable, that are being talked about, that are saying that they're dishonourable, then they have a right to have their say too, don't they?
Well, if you was my neighbour and if I thought there was a man approaching with ill will, surely it's only in mine and your interest to speak out of it and allow you the privilege of knowing that there's a man in the area with ill will. Surely.
It's your duty, is it not? A duty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you know and others may come to harm, then you not speaking up means you are now a party to that whatever. Yeah, you've let it happen.
It's not just here, the word, it's the worketh, it's the doeth that you have to application. The book says you can't just, it's no good me knowing what I know and just hearing what I know and keeping it to myself. I have to do what's right and honourable and say and do what's right and proper. And that's why you managed to lever me onto the bloody face page platform back in 2015. You know, it's been some funny good times on there and whatnot. I've been slightly uncomfortable. It's out of my comfort zone and stuff, but in our private, I normally live my life. But I've met some good souls on there. It's been beautiful times. We had a good time away. We went to the field and that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's ups and downs, mate. It is what it is. It's life. Just choose what you're doing and apply yourself correctly. Goodwill, no ill will.
Mad Pieman, look at this. Mad Pieman about the vest, yellow vest. Yeah, he says, invest in yourself. Yes.
Exactly. I said that earlier on tonight. The best investment is in yourself.
The yellow,
Listen,
but he's connected it with the yellow vest and said, invest in
yeah, it's
yourself.
ace.
Bless,
See,
bless, bless,
people
bless.
spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on education and stuff like that. In the system, they're investing in themselves, and it's the best investment we could ever make. It's not in stocks and shares and bonds. It's in ourselves. Charity begins at home. So that's that.
Let's go then. Let's say good night because we'll be here all night. Bosh.
All right, mate. Peace
I'm
and
going
love.
now.
Stay strong, everybody. Keep it in the forearm. Lovely. All right, then, Dave.
Ciao,
I'll,
bello.
I'll stop in the hangout if you wish, mate, a minute.
I'm going. Ciao, bello.
Bonjour. Thank you, everybody.